right now in terms
का यूज करके सीधा ओलसोंग की तरफ गए थे, अब उनको वापस नीचे आना है।
जी हाँ, और अगर आप टीम इंडिया को देखिए तो वो भी सर्कल के
right now in terms of like resource training and alt economy, it's so much better for Team Flash rather than the home.
That guy. Yes, getting you at almost one, right?
Once we get
that, so up until we get like to 10 minutes maybe.
I'm thinking 12, considering how Team Flash likes to eventually, when they have a clearer lead, like let's see when they get to the 5K mark, right? Oh, hold on.
Yeah, Ken is kind of cooked here. Has to flicker out, but will just be initiated on now. He does a lot of damage over to Izanami at least. It'll be Amon to pick up the kill. Now Fist Crack over JPL! Flickering out just in time. Homeboys pushing the pace.
Excuse me? How much? Yeah, I would like to see the items. What is Ivan building right now? He's chunking out JPL like a little too much here. He goes for the Thunderbelt first item. Okay, sure. I would have imagined that JPL would have tanked a little bit more, but with Flask of Oasis, it does go to show that at least for JPL, he needs to not get caught in these types of positions.
Yeah. I think it was the Fist Crack together with Mel just shooting Rhapsody. That looked like it was purely Fist Crack. But yeah, that was a bit weird to see too. Like, whoa.
That's a lot
damage,
of
but down.
That's damage, but down. What's going on here? But either way, despite everything that's happened in the game, look at Vanix, right? He's already completed.
Oh my lord.
Oh.
Yet again, Purify, but you will fall to MelQT with the Sky Piercer. Now Vanix walks up. Oh, too much to stay now. Vanix able to flicker in forward. Ken in the 1v1 against Amal. Has a Thunderclap, but Amal is already out. Sustaining him, going to the hell. It's a 1-for-1. Ken for Amal, and it's Ivan who picks up the kill. Hades mounted on, brought back again into the bullets of MelQT, this time without the help of the hard guard. Vanix no ultimate, MelQT free to go for the hits, and that's gonna be Ivan constantly peeling. That's a shield unity to lock him down, and the damage from Vanix now catches Barbiel. Over to Ivan he goes, who needs to run. Oh, Vel wants to go for it, jumps in with a slam and the spread.
It's not an easy matchup so far. Bell should be the next to fall here, no problem. Izanami is going to try and cover, but this Lord should fall into the hands of Team Flash. I mean, they're kind of dragging this out, and now they're even committing the hard guard to make sure that Hades stays alive because they know Joy is on the way. But look at them. They're just blowing through this, right? Cutting through that HP like butter.
There's a very specific win condition right now for Homeboys, and it's to catch one of the damage dealers before the fight starts. You get Ken mistake.
I think right now, the out of the Thunderclap, right? He's going to, again, keep your eyes on Ken because he's going for Amal every single time. Trading 1-for-1 in these types of positions is so much more beneficial when neutral objective is up for Team Flash. Therefore, Ivan can't be that guy to open up the map. He has to play Peel and let Vel do the rest of the work.
That's why it's kind of botched though, because yes, you want to peel, but your peel while doing damage gives Ken another Thunderclap. That's a reset constantly. So I think it comes down to Vel. Like, Vel needs to be the one to just hold Masha down. Hades gets the hard guard. I don't know if that's a bit too early, though. Poissons and hard guard.
I mean, you know, at the end of the day, they just need to get that mid-tier 1. If they get an inhibitor, that's always a plus point, but they don't have enough of a lead, right? We were talking about that 5K lead earlier. They're nowhere near it. It came down to 1.7. Oh my god.
That's a pin down over to Kurtizi. That's a win condition mounted on as well. A free kill over to Izanami. As Ken might be next, has to run away and does get out. Kurt needs to respect this glue a bit more. He was just waiting for the slam.
He kind of ate it, honestly. Yeah. I thought maybe like they had to set it up with Ivan flickering forward. Oh, wait.
And all into the back, good flicker off from MelQT. HP bar from Ken, getting wrecked. Ivan, though, will be falling here to Vanix as he walks forward with help of the hard guard. Actually buys a bit more time as Vel mounts Hades, and Amal comes in. Ken, I don't think he can go in with just one HP bar.
He's got to heal himself back up, but right now we can see that the clear ideologies from Homeboys and as well as Team Flash's side. Both are looking for these initial picks. Both are willing to trade 1-for-1. They got to punch above their weights for whoever they are trading for. And I think so far in terms of like the raw lead, finally we are seeing Vanix in an unbelievable position. He may be 5-0-2, but he only has an 837 gold lead, which arguably isn't that much, considering that, you know, MelQT, he's only died twice. He should be way further behind, but he's been farming well.
That's the Granger for you, man. You could die solo kill 3 times and still be ahead just because of the gold crab control and the minions that your team will technically always have to funnel into you just so that you have more stacks to play with, more bullets to play with in the fight. And that's also considering Homeboys with Granger, comeback potential is at an all-time high. All he needs is, I think, 2-3 more stacks, and then he'll be online for sure.
Yeah, look at this, right? Because if we're talking about gold distribution, the slight minion advantage for the side of Team Flash, but like pretty significant when it comes down to the jungle creeps. Other than that, passive gold exactly the same. Kills and assists, huge for the side of Team Flash, but it's being distributed rather awkwardly, right? I would have imagined that advantage would be so much further, but that's really coming down to an EXP lead more than it is a gold. At this point, with 3.2k, let's see how they roll the dice. This 50-50 is all about map control.
You see the hard guard being pointed over. Hades walking up. Ken losing half of his HP already, and Vanix is the one who gets the hard guard. That means Hades is up for grabs for the rest of the team. Now it's a pin down over. Vanix no ult. Hades no ult. 3, 4 big ultimates down. And Vel capitalizes. 3-man slam past there. Ken walks up, but will just be peeled off. Ivan gets a fist crack down. Ken's very low. Almost a Sky Piercer stack for free. Vanix flickers out of the mount that could have brought him back to the team. Wow. And Homeboys have just baited out all the resources, getting tier 1 mid.
Yep. Very powerful position that Homeboys is currently in. And more importantly, so they played that so patiently. Even Vel, he could have quickly just hopped onto any of the 3 targets that he pushed back into Team Flash's own jungle, but waited until the very end and got battle spells for it. So the value that we see from Homeboys right now currently is within this next minute and a half. Vanix, though, he has his ult ready. Everybody's got their ult ready, but without those flickers, they can't make significant plays. They need Homeboys to initiate.
It's about the small windows for Team Flash. When their abilities are up, when they can actually go for a fight, a winning one, they need to be very clean with their engage. They can't just randomly go in because Homeboys, I mean, it's visible earlier. They can disengage and engage back so quickly. Cortese has to respect. Oh man, the poke from Mel.
He can get topped up from the side of JPL, and I think that Cortese, the only thing that's making him confident is the fact that he has his Purify available, right? And for now, he wants to walk up, he wants to try and get a reaction, or at least a flicker out of the side of the Homeboys, thinking that he may be able to outplay it. Vanix as well as MelQT, honestly, pretty close when it comes down to the damage ranking. Not too surprised that MelQT has more, but now, Lord already put down to 1/3 of its HP.
It's going to be a retry battle. Hades forced to go in with a shield unity. That's going to be the hard guard as well, but that means Vanix is actually pretty free. Ivan, 3-man pin down now as Amal is forced back there in the back line. McCann fell and Amal out of the fight as now is giving the fist crack desperately. Vanix picks up a monster kill. 2 members have to recall. This is a green light for Flash to take the Lord.
And they can't slow it down either. Team Flash really, literally bulldoze their way to break the battle formations from the side of the Homeboys. They need to kite together. They cannot allow to get split in half.
Flash are not going to go for the Lord. What? Amal goes in, finds the kill. Izanami gets wiped down as well. MelQT kiting, able to flick around, and the traction pulse not landing. Now Vantage the flicker forward. Vel pops into the nature. Vel, can he peel for the marksman? No, he cannot. Cortese with the Sky Piercer kiting away. Vel with the flicker forward. That's a purify to get rid of the stacks and to put Vel in a tough spot now. It's a mount over to Hades, but Hades just bringing him over towards the base. Another way to roll in Vel. Good night, buddy.
Wow. I did not expect Vanix to have so much value, but once again, break through those battle lines, have an Angela on top of you, Winds of Nature, trade your flickers, doesn't matter. Vanix, full item build, and unfortunately for MelQT, no matter how many shots he's landing, the Heart Guard just tanks so much. The sustain, too good.
But now the big question for Flash is, can they siege?
I think they put, well, I think they can, assuming that Cortese hits a mega ult. He needs to hit a traction pulse of a lifetime. We'll see, right? Because now this Lord almost guarantees them at least 1 inhibitor turret. I don't know how much more they can get after that. 1 is guaranteed, 2 is really, really good. 3 is how did they do it? But let's look at this fight one more time, right? Because as you can see, right, the anchors from the side of the Homeboys get kicked in the chest, and once the wind is knocked out of them, the whole team disperses into multiple different directions. Amal is the only one who's flexible enough to weave in and out, but the peel is just not good enough, right? Ivan ends up dying. Vel, yes, he can displace 1 person at a time, and that's the big problem. He can't control multiple people.
You can see, I mean, at this point, Vel was like, all right, take me. Just take me. You've already won that fight. Homeboys, just have to defend. They just have to try to bait out some of these big resources over, because really for Team Flash, it's all about those big ultimates. It's all about utilizing one cycle of skills to win out the battle and then to capitalize with objectives.
In terms of the raw item power builds here, no Wishing Lantern actually purchased from Izanami. Looks for raw sustainability, right? Even a brute force breastplate to try and keep him alive.
No force to flicker out already. Lord charging down, able to get the damage onto the base turret as Kurt TZ constantly goes in. Can't really go on Ivan. Base turret number 1 falling down to the bottom lane as Hades pops into Poissons and the hard guard comes through as well. Crimson Beacon now the pin down over to Hades with Msc just shooting him down, but Hades is healing off of those shots, my lord! What is that sustain?
God, just, my goodness. Just too much. There's too much to get through. And when you think he's about to go down, oh, hey, Flask of the Oasis starts kicking in. Oh, hey, Favor is starting to kick in from JPL as well. Oh, whoa!
Ken with a flicker forward. Msc had a win in nature, and that's going to be one man down. Amo! Diving to the back, finding JPL as well. Amo with a big play. That should be a free triple. No flicker for JPL. He jumps back in just to give another to Homeboys. And now it's Team Flash on the back foot. One man. And it's the Leo Mord.
Hey, somebody's got to go back. They got to clear those waves. 2 huge waves are starting to collapse from top and bottom into Homeboys' space. While Team Flash, if they can just get rid of that wave, that'd be great. Barbiel coming through.
That's a Lantern Flare over to Vanix. It's a cannon minion. 10 seconds on Ken.
Hey, whoa.
Look at the small caster minion coming down as well. Vanix able to clear 1. Look at the caster minion. That could win them the game. They need to tank this up. They will be able to. No one gets cleared up. 2 seconds for Kurt. Can he walk up and clear? No, he cannot. Homeboys pull off the 1 straight push against Flash SG.
No way. Look, as much as I am a Malaysian fan, that was too close to the wire. Team Flash had full control over the game. They were winning at least 80% of these team fights in these 5v5s. Remar, get into this. Chime in on this. What was that?
Oh no, not like that. Ken was just too hungry to force a reaction. Out of Homeboys, diving straight to the backline, driving straight to Msc. Yeah, they forced out a win in nature, but just everything lined up perfectly for the Badang of Ivan to turn things around. It was going so good until it wasn't for Team Flash.
And I'd say it's the pent-up frustration of being able to win out 80% of the fights, like you said, Gideon, but never being able to really capitalize on turrets as much.
Yeah.
So they were like, we need to end. If the Evolved Lord gets taken, it's an easy win for Homeboys.
Yeah, I mean, the conversions weren't the greatest for Team Flash. It was very slow, it was very incremental, but then the problem with sieging against the Homeboys became extremely evident towards the end. They have to throw bodies to protect themselves against the projectiles, and even so, Amal with a super play as Team Flash were disengaging from that final fight turns it all around, because look at how these fights end up always happening. The only times Homeboys were able to win is if they snuck away a core in Kurt TZ, if not force JPL to quickly use his ult as soon as possible.
What a win by Homeboys. A lot of things that Team Flash needs to learn from that one, especially with trying to end and win the series. But congratulations, of course, to Homeboys. A prolific win against a prolific combination now for Team Flash. We're going to toss you on over to Eterna at the stage for an interview with the winning team.
I'm sorry, Izanami, I'm so sorry. I accidentally called Stormy the Prince of Mages yesterday, but you are the true Prince of Mages. I'm sorry, do forgive me.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay?
Yeah, no,
so I can tell Lefelt to stop, like, harassing me?
Yeah,
That's okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Once again, congratulations, you're here.
Thank you.
Okay, how was that for you? How was that first experience here at MSC?
I think it's kind of hard because this is my first international after long time not playing in international. So I think a bit nervous, and yeah, Team Flash also they use their like cheese threat, so yeah, it's a bit hard for our first match.
Oh, so it was a little bit tricky. You were feeling a little bit nervous. Okay, that does make sense, because I mean, I think a lot of people were really surprised with the Leomord pick in gold 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
Did that surprise you? How did you guys like communicate about that? Were you worried?
Actually, I think yeah, we a bit worried because we never fight like this threat in training. So yeah, a bit tricky and hard for us lah. Yeah, but we can adapt. Yeah, we can adapt to the meta. So yeah,
That's perfect. That's perfect. You guys handled it really well, especially in the final bouts of that previous game. Now, Izanami, why do you have Yayo at the back of your name? Where did that come from?
Actually, because I use Yayo in my main account, so why not I used in MSC? Yeah, because
I see.
before we qualify to MSC, I already thinking about I want to use this name.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it wasn't Erpang who was like, you
Yeah.
have to use Yayo at the back of your
No,
name.
no.
Okay, so it was a personal choice.
Yeah, he's the one copying me.
Oh, he copied you.
Yeah.
Coach Erpang, be more original. Okay, so flashbacks to last year at MSC, Homeboys was able to, no, actually Homeboys lost to Flash SG. So coming into this, being able to even the score, how does that make you feel?
I think we feel happy because we managed to beat Team Flash, but I think it's still early because after this we will fight either Team Spirit or DFYG. Yeah, so I think both of them is a strong opponent lah for us. Yeah.
Both are very strong contenders. Because that also brings me to my final question. Izanami, who do you think you're going to be fighting up against in the upper brackets?
Actually, I think both of them is strong, but I think maybe we will fight Team Spirit.
Team
Yeah,
Spirit.
because they got like so many experience in international and they also have a very good player lah. So yeah, I think maybe we will fight them.
Okay. Izanami thinks that they will be meeting up against Team Spirit in their next match. So maybe a final message to Team Spirit.
Team Spirit, good luck for your match and I hope we can fight later.
Hope we can fight. Do you think you'll win?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, that's fine. It's okay. Confidence boosts later backstage. So thank you so much, Prince of Mages, Izanami Yayo. There you go. We're going to throw it over back to our casters.
Great to hear from Izanami Yayo.
Yeah, yo!
That is his actual name, and that is how it's going to be pronounced moving forward here in MSC. Yayo. Team Flash, again, it was just one moment. It was one moment where they slipped, and I think this is a strategy that I hope they continue to carry moving forward. Just refine it a little bit more. I like it. I
mean, refinement is something because I feel like right now it's uniquely positioned in the meta game, right? And I think as you heard it from Izanami, the Prince of Mages himself, it was a little awkward to play against, right? You can even tell from LQT is like, oh my god, this guy on a horse doesn't stop. That hard guard makes me do negative damage to him on top of it all.
And when he does, there's a woman coming in, thunderclapping, boom, constantly as well. Luckily for him, well, not luckily, he was just really locked in because look at the reaction. Mel QT with Wind of Nature instantly, right as he saw the thunderclap, because that could have been really bad. Had he panicked just a bit, with him dying, could actually have turned into a big win for Team Flash.
Yeah. To be fair, we got to give that to Ken, that if Mel QT died in that engagement, that would have been a big win. A really good trade. XP for gold laner. Hell yeah. You'll take that any day if you're Team Flash. But they didn't get that. Yeah. And eventually, Homeboys just wrote it out. Again, when you're going up against a Badang, I feel like this is always the thing you really have to think about, especially if the Badang is in a team that that defends siege scenarios very well. When are you diving the turret, and where is the Badang? Because if you line up at the wrong time, we've seen this so many times in Malaysia, Indonesia, and in the Philippines, you will get punished.
I mean, hey, at the end of it all, I would say, you know, the big one who saved the day, Amal, right? Sick mechanics, right? Go in, get those 4 stacks, press one button, run at your opponent, just take him out. I mean, Curtizi, once again, he got disrespectful. One with the glue, he's like, that was kind of funny, gets pulled, dies. He's like, all right, I learned my lesson. Then finally, the one time that Ken doesn't actually eliminate the Joy, that's when he goes down. And honestly, he could have gotten a double kill on top of JPL. So again, the plan started to crumble once the pieces started to be rearranged.
Yeah, I think it was just tough because, again, that was the big question for us too. You can win the team fights, you can get the Lords, but how do you siege in? It was, especially because here, we're talking about Curtizi, how he disrespected the range and the engage potential of the other side, but it's also just like, you have to walk forward to get the shots on the turret. In the end, it's a lose because you also needed Purify. You can't go Flicker. Maybe he was just waiting. At this point, we need 2 battle spells.
We do need 2 battle spells. That would be an incredible change. And I think the only way that Flash SG is able to kind of overcome that sieging potential is if they have a whopping lead, which Homeboys did a very good job at kind of mitigating for throughout the game.
Yeah, that's what surprised me. Where moments where I would be thinking, hey, Flash should have like around 5,000, 6,000 gold lead. Yeah, it's only like 2,000. It's like, where's Homeboys getting this farm? How are they still somehow supplementing their gold laner and their jungler? So, gotta give credit to Homeboys for that. For Flash SG, though, with the lineup that they brought up and what Homeboys brought up, like, was the early game expected? Was it expected that Flash would run away with it and take control, and Homeboys would just try to be mitigating the losses?
I mean, Mimir already called it during the game, right? We were expecting them for first early rotation on that first turtle, especially when you have Vanix on Barbiel. He really needs to be kind of participate and clear up because he's pretty strong at his first level 4 power spike. And then from that point onwards, it went as expected. They tried to snowball, but I think the thing that we didn't see was the big conversions after the team fights, right? I think Homeboys did a very good job of, if we are going to fight, we want to mitigate the amount of economic damage that we ended up losing. I mean, look at this, right? When we're looking at Izanami, he's playing extremely defensive. He's not looking for anything crazy, but he does go for the brute force breastplate. He does go for winter crowns. He doesn't even complete finishing up that gleaming gem. He's letting everybody else do the work. He's just an extension to his team.
Yeah, I like it when I see Juices, especially against with the lineup that Flash brought up to the table, building Brute Force Breastplate. It is an understated item pickup that is an option. Not always the one you want to go for, but with all the crowd control of the opposing side and you want to be able to pump out just a little bit more damage, it's good.
I just like seeing Juice in.
Same.
Not like the hero to splash art especially. But, yeah, I mean, in the game, dude, for Flash, it was just all fights, really. And, like... I think it comes down to just that, you know. Yes, it was really good from the other side, from Homeboys, that they were able to always set up the waves in a way where there's never going to be full capitalization from the other side. But even if they did have full like great waves, it would have still been hard because they needed to throw bodies. Like, that was the gamble that they were playing with. Win team fights, maybe be kind of less active around the sieges. If they get a big fight, they win. If not, then...
Yeah, with all that discussed, I think it's time now to see who the Sony match MVP is from... I don't know. I didn't get a spoiler. It's MelQT on the Granger.
Interesting. I mean, throughout the games, yes, MelQT has been pretty consistent. Obviously, I think he had it the worst when it comes down to, like, what is this cheese pick supposed to do to me? And I think he felt it, and that's why now on that Granger, he felt a little bit more comfortable, and then he forgot, oh, man, I haven't seen, like, Leo Mord 6 items at hard guard. Like, man, I really can't do much.
That felt like a game for a Granger where it's like, I'm just going to try to farm, man. I'll just do whatever I can, find whatever I can get, and get it. And congratulations to him for getting the Sony MVP of the match. And if you want to feel like an MVP in the game, there are also some awesome prizes for you, especially with the MSC event ongoing right now. The support chest is up for all of the way up until August 7th. So for only 20 diamonds, you could draw the luxury
20
reward.
diamonds?
Wow! Returning MSC skin Atlas Rune Sentinel, plus your first 3 openings, guarantee you a Crystal of Aurora and Banner of Morale. That's not all. Up to 1,000 MSC coins could be yours too. Buy the MSC support chest and cheer for MSC. You can also potentially get the pass that way. I didn't. I just dumped all my diamonds and got the pass right away.
Hey!
You got to roll for it.
That
you
many
got
diamonds, man.
man, double diamonds.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just got to go like the sure route to get what you want. So that is it for our first match. Once again, this is Group B Day, the second day of the MSC 2025 group stages here at the Esports World Cup. Coming up next, we got another banger match for you. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We'll see you in a bit.
let's get a winning lane. But instead, no, they're going to double down on reinforcing that mid lane.
Yeah, I think this is so good so far. Like RRQ, this is literally what we've been talking about for RRQ, right? Even in the grand finals. You play for the Sutsujin utility, you get Dire on a comfort pick, you get the prio pick on Toy, which is right now 1-1 or Granger. This is the RRQ template. They're not trying to prove anyone, like, to try to prove the doubters wrong by saying, yeah, okay, we're just going to play with our strengths. Doesn't matter now.
Gordon Kescute strikes again.
Gordon
Bruce
Kescute
Wayne. Thing now?
No, I mean last year it was Kescute, Bruce Kescute Wayne, and now at this point we'll see what Kescute is going to be, cooking up later down the line in terms of evolution for the team. Because again, he likes to keep things template, he likes to keep things extremely structured, something that his team can keep on following, and most importantly, reproduce every single time.
Yeah, you can see that A77 is a little bit quicker on the draw here, while RRQ, I think with what we discussed earlier with A77 knowing more about RRQ compared to vice versa, yeah, they're really taking their time, but they are basing it off of like the template answers that you could go for. So I like how RRQ, they're not trying anything too spicy here. They're just going with the flow, while A77, they have their work cut out for them, but I feel like I'm okay so far with what I'm seeing with the bans and the drafting picks.
Honestly, the bans and the picks are just so honest from the side of RRQ. It's just like, here are cores, you know exactly where they're going. Here's a couple of counter picks we're going to get out of the way. Now what do you do? And Area 77 has decided to go with the Akai this time around. Akai EXP, I would assume, into the Phoveus?
Yeah. I think it is going to be the Akai XP. So RRQ, they'll already have the Phoveus, and that should be a winning lane. Before level 4, should be pretty good. Valentina and Farsa.
Yeah, at this point, the Akai EXP lane is just like a lane manager. You don't win that.
Wait, what's up in mid? Everything's banned.
Novaria.
Oh, that's actually a really good pick against the Akai.
Yep. That vision.
Whoa, you
said
Franco, I said Tigreal. No one said Cho.
Yeah, nobody said Cho here this time around. Interesting why they want to go for the pickoff, especially when there's like Akai on top of the AOG from the Guthart. We finally get the final pick being in the gold lane is going to be Granger for Area 77. Interesting sight of the composition. RRQ seems very standard, with the only thing that's lacking being like a consistent amount of damage from their mid lane. But hey, it's big burst, and more importantly, it opens up the map. So that way, Area 77 might not be able to go for those big flanks that we're looking for with the Akai.
Yeah, same thing for A77. I feel like their lineup actually puts an insane amount of pressure on the Lancelot and Granger to get a good game here. So let's see how it fares out for them. It's RRQ versus Area 77 for this game number 1. Who's going to take it? Well, right now, Gideon and Mirko are taken away from me.
Thank you, Ranmar. All right, this is the very first time we're seeing a new representative from North America, and they must fight against the faithful, some may say the strong, but the most consistent team making it into the internationals, RRQ. It's not going to be difficult to try and knock down the pillar here of MSC 2025 here at the Esports World Cup. Live from Riyadh, RRQ will be facing off against Area 77, RRQ on blue, Area 77 on the red.
RRQ playing the orthodox draft, just going for what works with their own playstyle. Except, I would say, the Cho. This is a bit new. We've seen it, I believe, in SPS in the group stage as well. But even in ID, this is a rare sight to see Edoc on a pick like this. Usually, he does go pick off sometimes, but it's more Francos. And, whoa, good steal from Rins.
And already RRQ just making it known to Area 77 that this is their territory. But I do agree with you. It's kind of strange to see Edoc on this Cho. He definitely prefers like safer pickoffs, but so far Area 77 are playing their lanes well as of this time. Now, I am curious about the EXP because it looks like Ureshi is kind of beating down on Dairon up on that top side, trying to use that base damage early on top of the timings of his concussive blast to try and generate an advantage.
No, but Dairon, you can see that he's just going to freeze this wave. Shiro walks up, able to get the XP crab, but won't be level 4, so he has to rotate all the way down below now.
He can't invade as well. He knows that Cho is lingering somewhere in the river. And I think that so far, so good, right? Area 77 have to take their time a little bit. I am curious of how this composition is going to try and break down the battle lines of RRQ. Again, it's highly dependent on whether Shiro is able to find a pickoff, and more importantly, so Ureshi gets that huge flank. We'll see, because again, Hunter is still possible to use the Fury of the Phoenix, not only for utility, but more so just for raw vision before they make a choice.
So it's all about mid prio now. Shiro rotating into the mid lane. Rin's getting level 4 first. The Hunter follows through pretty quickly as well. Battle for Turtle. Sutsujin is the one to start things off first, holding on to it. Dyron level 4, rotating as well. That's a massive Astral Echo landing on 3. Phantom Execution over to Shiro there. Joybot getting taunt now. It's a 4-man stun. But Ewc now is going to be brought back with a heavy spin. Dyron constantly jumping in front of pursuit now over to Hunter. Looking for more. Dark Wave landing. But it's only onto Ureshi. Dyron taken down. Ureshi with first blood. RQ with a turtle.
Nicely done from Area 77. Honestly, I think that Shiro played it extremely well, adjusted on the fly, noticed the immediate disengage from that turtle from RRQ's side, but still managing his stacks well so we can dash out of there. Toy and as well as ISO, definitely this match has been played multiple times, whether you're in pubs or even in screams or scrims. It's pretty straightforward, but then we start to need to look as RRQ needs to find bigger conversions, right? Sutsujin does find the first advantage in that turtle. He does have a slight EXP lead, but even so, Shiro is losing basically nothing.
An attempt from Ewc, trying to go for the way to Dragon there, but won't be able to get the second part. That's Shenpu over. Good taunt from Joybot. But yeah, right now for RQ, it comes down to the same thing that we've been seeing from them in the majority of MPLID games. It's just playing for neutral objectives, then going back, getting prio from Ewc, rotating for Toy. Now it's crucial for Toy to be winning the gold crab fights, and it just hasn't been happening. ISO with the Rhapsody.
Oh, I mean, he has a little bit of an EXP lead thanks to Sutsujin being that homie of securing a down at the turtle. Ureshi is trying to freeze on his side, knowing that Dyron definitely has a bigger advantage, but more so, even if Ureshi she tries to get on top of Dyron and commits to the heavy spin, pin him against the wall, he just doesn't have enough damage. The only way for this lane to go bad for Dyron is if he's a little silly boy and gets underneath the turret.
Silly boy.
Just a little silly boy.
Maybe he doesn't even need to be a silly boy. What if Ureshi pushes him in, right? Because sometimes that could happen too.
I mean, that's what's happening right now. He's getting the pushback on that wave, and Area 77 right now playing. Whoa, how deep is Ewc in enemy territory? Wow, very deep.
Great angle of attack. ISO, wow! He waited away to Dragon so long that ISO was waiting for the Purify, and he just never got the opportunity to tap it. He died before that. Sutsujin now all baits away the retry, and it is going to be a free turtle.
At this point, should RRQ say, we don't actually need this turtle, we can actually go and look to, hurt the economy of Area 77 by putting Shiro behind even further, but no, they're so objective-oriented, they're not moving away from KezCute's plan, secure those neutrals, move, and make sure they're playing for their strong side. Because look at this, right? They're trying to position themselves in a way that tells Area 77, hey, we could potentially be diving ISO. So Hunter and as well as Joybot have to reactively move there, and now, once again, the holes in the defense show, and Ewc sneaks in a little bit deeper. Oh my god, it's so deep in there.
Yeah, this is not a 1v1. You win, Shiro. Maybe in late game, but in the early to mid, it is all Phobius to win this one. And man, I mean, Shiro's trying his best to just take that farm. Ewc able to get Jikundo out in the Astral Echo, landing on 3. Good shot over with the Star Shatter.
Okay, no ults being committed from the side of Area 77. They chunked out Ewc without having to commit too much to it, which is actually great. They got to make sure that they're constantly clearing out their jungle, because this is starting to become a very obvious pattern. They see the initial movement, and then they place Ewc in one of the open holes in Area 77's defense, and mostly in their jungle. For now, Rins, he's starting to run out of mana. At some point, he's going to have to recall, especially if he consistently is getting into these fights from afar. But look at the position, right? They're even getting Ureshi here, knowing that ISO is going to be the main target.
Respect from Toy. Very, very good there. Even though he's going to lose a cannon minion, he knows that something was up. The fact that ISO was shooting out the Windtalker. Oh, way the Dragon. Baited out the heavy spin. That's what you want. Now the purple buff should be open to contest for Sutsujin. Joybot walks out. It's Chumpu onto the wall, but it's okay. Red Tree battle. It's Shiro who secures the purple. But RQ are not pushing the pace in the bottom lane. Whoa! Almost a solo! AOG from Joybot to provide the peel, the cover necessary for ISO to recall.
All right, Battle Spell for Battle Spell being traded out, but the level lead from Toy is definitely going to make it evident that ISO has to be very, very careful, especially if Toy has that Inspire available. Now, we can see Sutsujin has been trying to invade so many times at this point. He's only keeping up with Shiro. It's actually Shiro who actually has a little bit of EXP tempo on him because of the movements that we've seen across the map. Now Dairen should be able to walk down towards, with the help of the river buff, to go down and quickly join this potential fight from Turtle's side. However, Ureshi has shown himself.
Great taunt over to E-Dog now. Also, a stun over. That's going to be the knockup from Ureshi to get the kill over to E-Dog. Now Toy walking up. The crossbow tank going to be ready. And it translates over with the help of the rest of the team. Ureshi taken low. He gets away. It's another 1-for-1 in the low action game. And RRQ will get 3 out of 3.
Yep, and that's a roam for a roam. Turtle will fall into the hands of RRQ as we see a lane swap. Honestly, this is a really good move from the side of Area 77, right? You know that that neutral objective is basically non-existent for you, so ISO picks up that mid wave, picks up top wave as well. Even, I'm not sure if he got that crab on that last one, but even so, he is able to slowly scale up without taking too much damage. Let's look at the fight one more time, right? Because again, E-Dog, I would say a little crazy of him, you know, opening up that map. But the commitment, Ureshi not even having to use the heavy spin, it already goes to show that this early to mid game, Area 77 feel kind of comfortable. They just need that one mistake from RRQ.
That's a retreat from Shiro, again securing the purple buff. Another big Astral Echo, and as this continues to land, they will have constant vision on A77. Just look at the tempo they have on the map.
Yeah.
It's 2-2, 2,000 gold lead. But it feels like with the tempo they have, it almost feels like it's a 4 or 5k gold lead.
It does. I mean, the level leads especially coming down. 1 from Toy, 2 from Rins as well. And I think that right now, Rins, he's utilizing his advantage nicely. He already completed the Lightning Truncheon, so his pokes genuinely hurt. Oh.
There you go. Almost all of the weakness points. Good move by Shiro. He still gets caught by the Star Shatter. So even when they display these, you know, good escapes, they get punished for it, and there's no trade. RRQ making sure that wait, the Dragon and the Star Shatter locking him down. It's a kill for the roam over towards Hunter. Rins push back, but it's all G. And not even a trade down below. The minions, can they do it? No, Toy's rotating.
He'll be able to make it there in time. Actually, oh wait, I mean, the wave is, unfortunately, the siege minions were all kind of low. If they were full health, then maybe there was an opportunity there. But let's look at the items so far, because that's 3 items already complete. Like, Toy has a majority of the gold advantage here. And now, this is the time where you're expecting RRQ to kind of, you know, step on the gas.
Oh my lord. Oh, Shiro with the puncture, now onto Rins as well. Thorn Rose and a Path of Execution, but that should be it in terms of firepower. Sutsujin running him down. Big hitbox on him. Sutsujin will constantly land those big shield throws. Shiro gets away, but RRQ get tempo up top and again deny a turret trade.
Shiro is leveled down on Sutsujin. Now RRQ really pouring gasoline. Hopefully they don't smother the fire just yet. They need it to turn into a roaring flame. Area 77, it's clear that they've got mechanics, right? They know how to push buttons, but they're waiting for that big mistake. Here comes E-Dog.
Massive already. Hunter brought back again, by the way, the Dragon now cancelled, but a heavy spin already as Dairen walks up. Has the stack in front of pursuit, but the heavy spin shoves them back. Ureshi's too low. There's no heavy spin. They baited big resources. Almost a Star Shatter from Rins. Clean.
It's an extremely clean engagement from RQ, but an even more cleaner disengage from Area 77. However, disengaging doesn't win you games, right? Nope. We haven't seen significant plays from the side of Area 77 to try and crack open RRQ. These neutral objectives have fallen into the hands of RRQ when it's going exactly the way they want to. A clean 4K lead, and now we see that Area 77 are forced to kind of stick together to look for neutral objectives. More importantly, getting rid of these structures. Once we see mid-tier 1 collapse,
okay, AOG into the sun with a shield unity. Turret down below falling to a tier 2. Shiro, Thorn Rose to evade from the Jeet Kune Do, and finally our Area 77 gets a trade. But when it happens, RQ get a better trade-off, like with a turret tier 2 down below.
I mean, sure, but like tier 2s on the sidelines is basically free econ, right? What's another extra 200, 300 gold over to RRQ when they already have that 4K lead? Area 77 using the AOG to try and protect this mid-tier 1 was probably the better option rather than putting themselves in a compromised position.
Sutsujin is just running laps around A77 right now as Toy continues to push on the pace. That's a retribution and Thorn Rose! Crossbow tank ready, popped in, Inspire over! Ureshi fallen! No, he has the flicker, gets him out to safety just in time. One last shot would have done it. A tier One turret falling in the mid lane, and RRQ are looking to capitalize.
Well played by Toy. He was expecting the clear. He was expecting the iframes to come out pretty quick from the side of Shiro and really takes full advantage before launching that crossbow of Tang. And with that being said, a man down, RRQ are looking to go for these inhibitors. The Holy Shield are collapsing all across the board.
Fury of the Phoenix over, Tyrant taken low, but there's really just no more threat. That's another big structure taken down by RRQ, and it's a big one because, folks, that's the far lane for the next neutral objective. A77 were already struggling to contest. Now it's going to be even tougher.
Yeah, no, I think right now, the only way that Area 77 is looking to win this game is if RRQ make a mistake when it comes down to these neutral fights, right? That's why we're seeing that. Oh my god, the damage.
Half HP, brother man. Oh! Walks up, somehow Sutsujin gets the kill with a shield thrown his way. Ureshi falling for the first time this game.
Oh, he got melted down. There's too much percentage damage. Look at Ritz's damage. He's literally tripling the lobby in terms of just raw damage. 54,000. And now the siege. Here we go.
Look at that. Again, Fury of the Phoenix coming down to try to defend Hunter. Almost caught by the Star Shatter there. Toy gets another base turret. Oh man, RRQ.
If we're talking about medieval warfare, the traditional sieges, RRQ top tier when they've got the right tools. They've got a trebuchet in Rins, a strong arm to throw Area 77 underneath the bus if they walk up too closely. And even if they're not close to the bus comes to them.
Oh my lord, that damage from Rins. We haven't seen Novaria at all this tournament. The one time we see it, it's a nuke Varia.
Oh my goodness. They're going through the medieval ages really fast. Dark ages are collapsing. No more trebuchets. Give him a hand cannon. They're gonna fight again.
Again, trying to go for the way to Dragon. Ureshi taken out by the Star Shatter. Dairen taking a few shots in. Sutsujin walks up with the help of the conceal from Edok and will be there to body block in case it's necessary. Free Lord to RRQ.
Look at this, just perfect macro coming in from the side of RRQ. They understand they've set the line in the sand, and Area 77 must not disrespect it. Jiro's gonna try here. He's got the mechanics and he's gotten out of really tight positions before, but a single shot from a max range Star Shadow from Rins really makes all the difference. Not to mention that if they stand too close together, unfortunately the AoE plus an extra from the Lightning Truncheon makes all the difference. 50% gone just like that.
Man. 2,500 gold lead for Toy. Full items almost. Has a Magic Blade, very close to a Rose Gold Meteor. There's a Sea Halberd, and he's gonna shred. Like, even without the crossbow attack. Actually, I'll be surprised if he gets a crossbow attack. He might actually melt people before he can get the crossbow attack done.
Yeah, he is pretty far ahead in the game right now. It's kind of ridiculous, but... Oh!
Both the carries. Talk about targeting now. Shiro walks up, Rins. With a flicker out, that's a big AOG that lands. Oh, no, that's Shiro in the front. Tyrant is holding it alone. Toy looking for the damage, just with the basic attacks again. No crossbow attack, no problem. Toy dishing out crit damage, and RRQ with a 10,000 gold lead. Get the job done in game one.
Oh my goodness, I think this is what the Indonesians call whenever they see Rins throwing out another Star Shatter just to be like, Bismillah headshot, man. Just this is just, he is landing them. It's God-given.
No toying around at all for RRQ, and that went as expected. Honestly, like with what was brought to the table and what we mentioned earlier, so much pressure for the Lancelot and Granger to win at their respective roles. But when you're up against a mid laner who can nuke you from afar, see where you are, empowered by a jungler who will like, I'm here. There's like literally nothing much you can do to me right now. I'm a Baksha. RRQ takes it.
I think it just feels like in the draft, A77 drafted not to win, but to not lose.
I think there's a couple of times in the game, especially during neutral objectives, where they could have tried to force a play. But that's the problem, right? When RRQ know they can kind of hunker down and wait for their opponents to make that move, that's the big issue, right? They just need to win one fight, and then they hold that tiny lead, and it's like in the compound interest afterwards. Like this fight right here, right? This is the first time we see that RRQ go into the faces. They're like, okay, Shiro can try and take this turtle. We're going to reset it, and now we're going to go back into the fight. Obviously, Dairen made a little bit of a mistake, you know, holding a little longer than he probably should, like Flicker early now. Ends up dying to the last auto attack, but even so, it is a winning scenario for RRQ.
Yeah, really tough here for Area 77. lineup, while RQ, as textbook as it is, I mean, it's the easier lineup to pull off. You know the beats that you need to hit. There isn't some clear, obvious conditions. You can afford to mess up within the first 5 minutes. While for Area 77, it was like a very precise, you cannot mess this up or it's over for us.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that Toy didn't go for the attack speed build this game, knowing that he would have just gotten free crossbow tanks across the board that would have just blew over to maybe a triple kill every time he gets a crossbow tank.
Yep. As we look at the emblems right now, RQ really just played this as it should have been. The fact that 3 of them are pack and tank emblems, that delays even more what damage Area 77 can dish out. Again, simple as they needed to somehow find massive wins early on. RQ didn't give it to them.
Yeah, they didn't give it at all, which is why like this is one of the worst matchups for newer teams to face up, because RQ is just so... Some people may call them passive, but truly their passiveness is because they know that they've got a lead or an investment, and they love to hold it against you, right? You know, just the fact that I don't need to interact with you is more than enough.
Exactly. I mean, just look at the kills that they were giving over to A77 as well. Like the 3 kills that was taken by A77, it's on Edok and Dyron. Those are the 2 guys that I think they're like okay with every single time.
Yeah. There was something also about how RQ played that I liked that they didn't try to rush anything. You could clearly see it's like still respecting the, this is my turnaround. All right, let's just go back. All right, let's fight again. Slow. It was like just a slow battle of attrition that Area 77 just tried absolutely everything they can to get farm, to find wins. But if your opponent is not giving you any opening and they're respecting you as if the gold was close, yeah, you're not going to get anything from that.
Yeah, I mean, it also reflects in their builds. Like, Dyron initially didn't go for the War Axe straight away. He was actually building components into the Anti-Cuirass as well as the Radiant Armor. Then after he finished his second item, they realized, like, wait, hold on, we just have to sustain, and then Rins is already getting, like, a gigantic lead. I just need to live. I don't even need to be that tanky in the first place. So that's when he decides to get the War Axe.
Yeah, it's really like not the build that people go for nowadays. Even in ranked, people just go for Thunderbelt. But if you're winning that hard and you can just sustain, and the game was like 3 turtles to RRQ, a 4,000 gold lead with that looked more like an 8K gold lead. There was not much you could do wrong in the item builds.
Yeah, and looking at what Area 77 eventually drafted into after seeing the fact that there's a Baksha on the other side, I think more now, I see what you were trying to get at, Mirko, where Area 77, as if they were trying to draft not to lose, because there wasn't like a direct answer to the Baksha in terms of disrupting his flow. It was more of just like, see what we can draft to make sure that ISO, Shiro, and maybe even Hunter doesn't die. It was just like, let's see if we can just hold on long enough to hit our power spikes and whatnot. It's more reactive than it is proactive.
It is, and more importantly, so in terms of like raw execution, in terms of like high mechanics, it's really down to like Shiro on this Lancelot and as well as Ureshi to try and make these plays. Everybody else just presses one button to try and either disengage or really punish the mistakes that RRQ are going to show. But that's why it's such a big difference in philosophy, because hey, we got to play to the structure. You have to execute. Opposing philosophies work so much better for RRQ.
Yeah, they were literally just playing for PL. 4 out of 4 heroes out of 5, except Lancelot. Yeah, were just PL heroes. They wanted to kite back. They wanted to punish on mistakes, but expecting RRQ, such a systematic team, you'd actually have a better chance of hoping for Onic ID to make a mistake. Like, they're the ones actually push forward when they have a lead. RQ, they're like, no, it's okay. We're fine with 2K. We'll just build off more minions, cutting you off, blah, yada, yada. And for Area 77, it wasn't what we expected. Like, they need to just go in game number 2. Get rid of the safety. It's all right. They got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I think a lot of more people are going to be able to see the pros of your gameplay if you're just aggressive. Even though people would say, oh, it's a little bit throwy. At least we saw you try to be proactive instead of just trying to react to everything that RQ throws at you. And because of all of that, Toy was left to just farm, get gold, deal damage. Nothing could stop this 1-1 from just being able to get up in the air.
Yeah, and I mean, not to mention that these, again, against RRQ, they're very good at taking small incremental leads and really squeezing a lot of value out of it, like really milking it. Like Rins was getting so much value. You could see that his lead against Hunter eventually ended up being a 2-level lead on top of a whopping amount of gold. And Toy, I think that he could honestly try to make solo plays of his own, but he just remembers what's if he makes a mistake, SQ is just like, hey, you know what happens here? Big backhand.
Well,
That's
we're
true.
not
He's
going to be
very
seeing that after the result of game number 1. And I think right now, unless we see some absolutely massive changes from the side of Area 77, that we might just be walking out of this matchup and this series with a sweep. And I think the second game, again, if nothing too crazy happens in terms of the draft and the strategy changes, then it's just going to be more of the same. It's just like a slow whittling down and realization of Area 77 where the map is getting smaller. Next thing you know, those little risks that you were willing to take in the early game, it's just massive risks at that point in the mid game. So let's see if Area 77 is going to be able to switch things up and find a way to draft through RQ Hoshi. Maybe just a little bit more proactiveness, maybe just a little bit more picks that are aggressive might be the difference maker here for Area 77. What's going on behind the scenes? Like, what are you guys seeing?
I'm seeing that Kesku currently has taken the
He's a
position of
player.
Rins. He is the mid laner right now. He's like, Rins, you're young. Come on, just stand up for a second.
Yeah, all right. So if you want us to understand RQ a little bit more, well, we have a story on their journey here heading into MSC at EWC.
Halo, gue Toy dari tim RRQ. Perjalanan gue buat masuk ke EWC ya awal mulanya ya dari MDL. Gue masuk MDL dari season 8 sampai season 10. Habis itu gue bisa naik MPL di season 15. Terus bisa dibilang debut pertama kali di MPL bisa dibilang mulus dan itu membuahkan hasil lah sampai ke EWC ini. Kalau buat ketemu sih, gue pengen ketemu Onyx ID dan PH. Karena yang di SL Malai, tim gue dipulangin sama Onyx PH. Dan di SL Indo, tim gue juga dikalahin sama Onyx PH. And di Grand Final Season 15, tim gue kalah juga lawan Onyx ID. Perasaan gue main di EWC tentu senang. Untuk pelajaran yang gue ambil dari lawan Onyx di grand final itu udah pasti mental, karena kalau misalnya mental kita nggak kuat ya gamenya nggak bakal bisa berjalan mulus lah. Jadi mental yang paling penting.
Well, whatever the mentality is right now of RQ Hoshi, it's going really good for them. They played a very clean game. They didn't give any mistakes, a lot of openings for Area 77 to capitalize on. And yeah, I think it's gotten to this point now. It's just we're waiting for the draft. We discussed what A77 needs to do. We've discussed what RQ Hoshi needs to continue doing. At the end of the day, the only question is if Area 77 is going to change it. It's all on the balls on their court at this point.
It really is, but I think, tinfoil hats back on, boys and girls, because I think that RRQ, if we're going to, conspiracy theory, they like to play a little bit slower. But every time they have lost in the most important games, they have to deal with hedgehogs, otherwise known as. You get the idea. But generally, going fast doesn't seem to be the RRQ sort of way.
Yes.
So that's why I think that Area 77 at this point in time, if they are going to go, balls to the walls, trying to throw everything at them, they got to go quick. They need something that snowballs really, really quick too.
Yeah, and really quickly, before we continue our discussion here about the draft and everything, don't forget about the All-Star event happening right now in-game, the All-Star 2025 Dino Planet. Do not forget to play that little mini game. I keep forgetting and I am missing out on some really good prizes. I don't think I'm going to be getting the Popol and Koopa skin that comes with it at the end of this event. That makes me very sad. So don't be like me. Don't forget to play our mini games, and of course, enjoy everything that the Dino Planet has to offer for everyone playing MLBB right now. That event goes all the way up until August 5th. Yes, draft starting in just a bit. Let's look at Area 77. Let's get specific. What picks do you think they could go for? That would Jawhead. Yeah, I think that's it. I like it. I was setting you up as like, okay, Jawhead right away. Yeah.
We all know what we want to see from the side of Area 77. We want them to go back into their playstyle that they are not only comfortable with, but something that they can really show the world what they are all about. We need to see NA's playstyle right now as we see them actually on the blue side up against RQ on the red.
Okay, they banned the Kimmy. So does that mean...
I feel like they might be trying to
So they
consider
don't want
Kalea.
Baksha. They don't want Baksha first pick is basically what it means, right?
Yeah.
But RQ still decided to ban out the Baksha.
Yeah, I definitely think that Kimmy was one of the few picks that would have made a lot of sense for Area 77 because it's just one of those heroes. It's like, how do you contest with that type of damage that early on?
And they banned the Uranus, so they're not going for the Uranus. I think it just might end up being Kalea first pick. If it's not the Jawhead, I mean, if they want to play around pickoff, map presence, going around fast, Kalea is a good substitute for that.
Yeah, but I really am not a fan of giving Dyren a Phobius. Dude, that guy is a monster. Like in Indonesia, we call him the half purple man.
The half
purple man.
man.
Yeah. Manusia setengah ungu.
It sounds
half
better
purple
in
man.
Bahasa.
It sounds way better in Bahasa Indonesia. It sounds kind of weird here in English. Half purple man.
Half purple man. I think that, especially if we're talking about Dyren, another thing that they need to be worried about is like the Indonesian style of Hilda. We've seen so many EXP laners. You give him that Hilda, you're on an assassin. It's like it feels like you can't breathe half the time. He's right up in your face, like, "What you doing? Oh, you taking your purple buff, sir? Is that your purple?
It's mine now?
It's mine, not yours.
Not your purple buff."
He's a typical bully in a high school like TV show, you know, just like, hey, give me your lunch money, aka your purple buff, nerd.
Lock him in a locker. Your purple buff. Just
That's literally what happened in game one. They were locked in their base, locked in their lockers, and they try to get out, but then the bully's just stronger.
They ride away in their convertibles, they laugh at you, they make you cry, you go home, you tell your parents. I'm not talking about personal experience here.
I was like,
talking about drafts.
yeah, totally.
Oddly.
Oddly specific with the convertible. Do you still remember their number plates? Look, Jushin gets picked up
100%,
here.
bro. Tinfoil hats.
Tinfoil hats.
100% win rate. Juicin.
100%.
Okay,
Look,
okay.
hey, it could be a conspiracy, but I think at this point, the Zushin kind of makes sense, right? If you're not going to get the Kimmy, the other lane bully that we are expecting is that Zushin. And now they need a mid duo that actually looks to play in their favor. Now, Zushin is interesting because it's not only about mid prio, it's if they get pushed in, we tax your HP whenever you walk up, especially if the opposing duo has a melee range style hero that uses Concussive Blast.
Oh, RQ getting the Harith right away. It's been months since Harith has been a top 2 priority on the red side. And even high loss to go to boot. Yeah, this is a little bit more of a ego aggro RRQ first 2 pick rush.
Yeah, they're one away from going Triple H here. Harith, Hylos,
And Esmeralda. Oh.
Hey, look, it's not the
Hexagon
game.
Chaos.
It's not the game just yet, boys. Just give it some time because the
Kalea,
Lancelot
there
is
you
going to
go.
get locked in on top of the Kalea. All right, a decent amount of burst damage, but not enough to really convince me about this potential pick-off composition just yet.
Harith, Hylos, Hodged.
Really forcing it in here. Oh, RQ at this point against the Lancelot. Oh, they go for it. The Zetian. 0% versus the 100% that Juicin. Now, this feels a bit more like RQ saying, let's change those numbers.
Yeah, right? A little bit more shoulder checks coming in from RQ right now. It's like, come on, boy. Come on.
For sure. The Zetian is interesting, right? Because does that mean they're going to omit picking up the Gatot into the Kalea this time around now that they have the Fury of the Phoenix to work to kind of work with? Oh, you Tsunami Slam. Guess what? I press one button and then we'll see whether or not we actually have to commit to the fight or whether or not we can just be like, oh, this one button is enough to get us out of here.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Beatrix, good ban.
Yeah, with Kalea. Could be it. Usually what RQ does, I'll explain the Hylos a bit more for them. They go Harith, right? Harith usually gets countered by like the Phobius who gets the dashes, and Hylos is usually already a win against the Phobius. So the Hylos is a way to deny the Phobius. That's what they like to do, and it's also really good flex. So it's like a KSQ template to deal with something like a Phobius if they don't ban it.
Very traditional.
Okay.
Very traditional.
So
Honestly, I would have liked to see KSQ kind of go out of the template and be like, here you go. Here's an Arlet Diamond.
Well, I mean, considering the tendencies of the draft so far here at MLBB at EWC, this is sort of out of the template, but it's still within his personal template. So I guess we can only get like one thing. Okay, Fredrin gets taken out. Considering that they are just it looks like RQ has already told Area 77, okay, we're literally telling you, Harith is our main dude. It's up to you to try and answer it, guys. We're giving you a little bit of give here.
This still could be a Phobius for RQ, dude. Like, the Hylos many times, again, goes to Rome when Phobius is up for grabs, and it's a Lancelot that just was... Oh, RQ. They can set up for the Phobius now. They don't really need to flex it all the way to the end anymore.
They really don't. And they can pick it up for themselves, worst comes to worst, right? As much as...
They're going for Arlet, no? That's like last pick Arlet, no?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm thinking of. They're like, okay, you can go either way. Guess which one it's going to be? Let's see. Because they're giving the onus to Area 77 and picking the Akai on R4. It's just so safe.
Yeah. Because, like, now for RQ, they are waiting for A77. If they don't go Phobius, that's an easy Arlet XP. If they do go Phobius, the Hylos will be placed into the XP to beat the Phobius, and they'll just pick another Rome.
Yeah, at this point, though, if Area 77 even goes Phobius, there's an Akai on the other side.
Exactly,
You're just like, what are we going to do now?
So
Like,
it's Hylos and Akai.
In chess terms, this is what we call a fork. It's really, honestly, it's pretty difficult to deal with. Oh, they go for the CC instead. All right. Either in both of those matchups doesn't really matter to the CC, but it does compromise their overall 5v5.
They're like, you know what?
Paquito?
Another one. Another new way.
Wait, no.
Two debuts in 2 games. Navaria and now Paquito.
Ah, that's kind of hot.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think this is RQ really just going with a little bit more. The template's there, but the ego's there too. I like it a little bit more. Showing Area 77. Now we got you. This is checkmate.
And what is this, blue lock or something? Yeah, I can see Dyron's ego juice just oozing out of him.
I'm just a fan, dude. Like, I've been talking about how Dyron needs the carries in MPLID, and now that he's getting it, I'm just here for the show because back when he was in Rebellion, this was his prio pick. This was him, his favorite,
correct.
with Benedetta.
Yeah, with Benedetta, of
Let's
course.
see if Dyron can pop off with the Paquito in the EXP lane, if RQ Hoshi will close out this series as expected with a 2-0 victory, or will Area 77 surprise us all?
Thanks, Renmar. All right, we're getting right into this straight away. Match point currently for RRQ Hoshi. MSC 2025 can't be just this, especially with North American representatives on the blue side looking to pull this back against the Kingdom. Now, let's jump right into it, right? Because I think we need to figure out ways and maybe potential holes in RRQ's defenses, or maybe Area 77 to kind of push back, because again, they go for that initial leash, which is, again, we don't see very often, but so far, Dyron is very comfortable to take on Ureshi in this 1v1.
Yeah, it's because of the wave clear. You can't, like, if you angle your skill 2 properly, you get the damage and the clear. So there you have it. Bargain Hunter here with the Inspire. I think the emblems are pretty normal, so I'll try to answer your question. What are the weaknesses? I think for A77, they have an easy way to pick 1 or 2 members off straight off the team fight. Like, I mean, Edok is very vulnerable. Dyron and Rin's also no Purify.
Yeah, both don't have Purify here. Although the mid duo is actually kind of struggling here because, as you can see, Joybotch, he needs to be able to kind of walk up and punch something to get the initial heals, right? But it's so far, it's clear that Edok and as well as Rins are timing their abilities to make sure that he's not getting the maximum amount of heal while still making sure that Hunter has to walk up in a very awkward manner. Focus on clearing those waves, focus on getting an early recall, or at least force away Joybotch in a more compromising position. Interesting. Both sides positioning himself for the very first objective.
Okay, just playing around it now. Yeah, they're really trying to put or set Dyron for success here in game number 2. They want Dyron to snowball because once you do, you get a heavy spin, say on anyone, it's an easy one-shot for Dyron on the Paquito.
We'll see whether Dyron actually goes for the full damage, right? It would be fun if he did, but, whoa, hold on.
Knockout strike not landing. Goes back to the safety of Sutsujin, who's walking on the turtle.
They're really taking their time here, but here comes, as the Glorious Pathway comes through. Oh,
okay, that's an attempt now, Shiro. Okay, lockdown, knockout strike into Retribution. Sutsujin picks up first blood.
very nice. Very nicely done. They even called Toy, just in case. Like, usually they leave Toy on an island, they're like, no, Toy. Just in case, this is Dyron we're talking about. He hasn't touched this Paquito in quite some time, so let's get the insurance policy over.
And also, folks, we gotta, remind you, this is a 0% win rate hero. Zetian up against a 100% win rate hero at MSC, Jusin. This could turn everything around, like, win rate-wise.
They're looking to fix the numbers at the very least. Kescute was not happy with it. It's like, hey, I love the Zetian. We gotta make sure these numbers are good. Rins, my boy, do God's work for us. We're gonna get this back. We're gonna pull it back for her. So far, as we can see, like, Area 77, I'm trying to think of a potential play that they could do, but the main issue is that Sutsujin is just such a good way to kind of nullify the effect, right? Oh, you're about to get a pick on somebody, heavy spin comes into play, disengages the entire team. Dairen's in trouble.
The damage, now he's going to be caught though. Curtain Call and the Lantern Flare with the Crimson Beacon too. He has to flicker, but he will die. A bit too aggressive, did not know where the Juicin was. At least Rins gets a bit of punish there.
I guess. At this point, Sutsujin is thinking, all right, thank God we got Toy involved in last turn. I was like, thank God he got an assist. Dairen, how could you? It's like, oh, sorry guys, I'll try one more time. Don't worry. If I die again, then you can lose faith in me, but until then, I will pull this back for us. Because it looks like you're trying to set something up, right? Idaki was thinking about it. He was thinking about dropping that Glorious Pathway, but there is no reason to fight as of right now. Most objectives are still up. The clear has been very good for Sutsujin. He does spot out Shiro, and he does have a full level ahead. So if he steals this away, or at least forces the Retribution out of Shiro, then same thing as last time. It's just a free turtle.
Yep. A battle. Who wins it? Was that Sutsujin? Shiro?
I think that was Sutsujin on that one.
Okay, there you go. And now Turtle number 2 spawns in the game.
Whoa.
Another 1-1 at Turtle 2. I don't even know if Area 77 should contest this.
Is this contestable? Joybotch does have his ult. Who does he want to pick up? Can he pick up Rins? I think he can, but the flicker is available, but the 2 tanks, that's the problem. It's that heavy spin that they can't seem to bait out naturally.
Glorious Pathway into the back. Now, oh my lord, Reshi almost pinned down to the wall. There's Joybotch is forced to flicker out defensively. Gets a Tsunami Slam over to Edok, but he's good.
Oh, what?
Dairen, knockout strike into the back. Now Retry battle, Sutsujin winning it out. Dairen walking back, and RRQ again. Get the objective and dip.
Wait, what? There was definitely a punish there for Area 77. They did not want to initiate the trade, and I think they would have been able to trade up on towards... No, it would have been 1-for-1. It was hard to get on top of Rins, I guess. But even so, they don't mind 1-to-1 low kill count so far. RQ developed their 1.3k lead, and now it's just squeezing out the value from such a small lead.
It's back-to-back games with the same playstyle for RQ. A77, again, Joybotch. Without the flicker, you're passive on the Kalea. You have to understand now, after the changes on Kalea in the previous patch, that range on skill 2 is so short. You need Flicker to be able to get like a crazy pick-off, especially on a mobile pick like Dairen. Unless Dairen walks up, then I guess that's free knockout strike over to Rins right there too. With the turret up top, 4 free. Toy gets a trade, and it's just a punish off of Area 77's rotation and commitment down below.
It's the skin diff. Terry Bogard on Dairen, King of Fighters. Love it. That's why. You gotta make sure you got your skin game good. You get those extra stats, and you're like, man, I'm a beast. I'm so good at video game. So far, I think it's been working out well for RRQ, right? Like, oh, Conceal, they know the purple buff is available, but did they know that Area 77 all rotated down to that bot side? What a read!
Yeah, wow. Incredible read, and they just have to give it. Akai being a level ahead of a Lancelot is something, again, that we just don't see too often. But it's happening here. Sutsujin, a whole level ahead of a Lancelot that should, by all means, be farming way faster.
They're just mirroring the jungle path at this point, and I think it makes a lot of sense for Sutsujin. Whoa, Edok's kind of taking a lot of damage here, but here comes Toy and Sutsujin.
They're going to go for the trade. Oh, Hunter has Flicker and Crimson Beacon, but how many times can you blink out? Toy walks up, Zaman Force over, Unli dashes, and it's Rins who picks up the kill. Joybotch walking up, unable to get into range. You see that range? Pretty short.
Very, very short. I'm surprised Hunter didn't use the Lantern Flare straight away, or like flicker out of it straight away, knowing there's a potential. Because again, Toy doesn't have flicker of his own. He's running Purified. So if he's on top of you with the Zaman Force, there's no escaping it at that point. So they have to make these calls a little bit earlier.
Dive on ISO, has the flicker, will use it. Edok tanking it up, just enough for Toy to get those shots in. That's another over to RRQ.
I'm not gonna lie, with the Zitian, with the Harith, especially with the MR shred coming out from Zitian, it makes Harith feel like he's his old self, you know? He's doing some like actual relevant damage now, especially since it's so early on into the game.
I'd love to see the take. Oh, Shiro gets the orange buff. The take on items for Toy, because we saw Innocent go for the book Enchanted Talisman yesterday. I wonder if Toy's doing the same here, or if he's sticking to the same old Starlium Scythe.
We'll see, we'll see.
Oh yes, there you go.
Yeah, there we go, there we go. Making sure that he completes it. He's already got 2 items already complete. Fury the Phoenix comes on out. Oh, okay, good flicker from Mareshi.
Yep.
Manages to get out, and man. This playstyle. Oh,
Tsunami Slam, but it's only onto the high-lows. That means Toy's free to go for damage. And he does. Bodge versus high-lows. That was a sustained battle at that point. Kalea, definitely not as tanky as the horse.
oh God, this is getting kind of brutal because like the RRQ playstyle just sucks the soul out of you. It feels like every move you make, even though it's correct sometimes, doesn't feel great. Feels like you're making a mistake when you're actually not. It was a good attempt from the side of Area 77, but right now they have to, again, keep in mind about the target prioritization. Ideally, they want to get Rins.
Look at that. Boom.
Terry
Another
Bogard
turret.
does it again.
Oh, man. Yet another game where a 3,000 gold lead looks more like a 6-7K gold lead. Like A77, they're falling so far behind.
How do they do this? At this point, I feel like Toy is just a little too far ahead for Areshi
man.
to try to go for the 2.
The hell is that damage? Bodge, free shots for Dyron. A stun over from Ewc. Boom, bang, bada bing, Rin showing that the Zetian can work.
God, they're playing this well. Like RRQ, what's great about them is their formations during their fights, right? The anchor being Rins this time round. They're playing around him extremely well. They are forcefully giving him space. And honestly, Rins, to a certain degree, probably doesn't even want the space. Like, no, guys, please get them closer to us. I need to apply a lot more damage here.
Oh, man, that's going to be a free lord over to RRQ. Rins takes it. So, 2 games, he's actually gotten 2 lords. Shout out to Rins. Maybe that could be a fun stat later on, like how many lords the mid laners have gotten. Because Rins is definitely leading that charge.
He is the Lord Slayer as of right now. Oh, dude, RRQ is just sucking the soul out of me right now. Oh, God. They're taking their sweet time doing everything that they want to do, and it's just so successful,
so
right?
clean.
It's so clean. Man, we're seeing the same Lancelot build coming out from Shiro this time around. War Axe into the Brute Force Breastplate. It looks like he wants to go for the Bruiser optimization, knowing that these fights might take a little bit longer, especially with the multitudes of tanks on the side of RRQ.
Man. Do they get the Holy Shield out of this one?
I think they do.
No,
right?
okay, they hold it, A77, but they will get it off of the next wave for sure.
Yeah.
Damn, they're even building this wave to like double hit just so that they can get the Holy Shield and then get another wave to get it down. There you go. That's the first charge over. There's going to be another one in the mid lane. Well, that's already cleared out. Conceal. Oh, that's it. That's a turret. Yeah, great wave manipulation. RRQ are just playing like the standard fundamental game. Joybot just cannot reach them.
Yeah, this is the RRQ. Oh my God, so close, but at least they're able to disengage with the help of the Death Sonata. RRQ just welcoming this new challenger from NA with the international quote-unquote playstyle of like any little lead is a death sentence.
Tsunami Slam over to Ewc again. The Glorious Pathway locks him down. Sutsujin with the heavy spin. It forces out all the resources over. Hunter, no! He's all alone. Hazard Crimson Beacon gets stunned up now as Rins constantly pushing out damage. Ewc runs away with a sliver of health. Dyron with the knockout strike. Toy with an execute in the back with that Zaman Force. That's another base turret. 3 members up against 4.
RRQ are playing this perfectly. So good. And Shiro, he's trying his best here. Oh, Dyron, he's getting some good damage. Is this enough?
There you go. Another knockout strike. Zaman Force from Toy! And one last hit is all they need. Rins burns him down with what I believe is the glowing wand. Cannon minion ready. Areshi.
No.
Not over.
Toy does not have the Zaman Force. He just got it back up. Did he have the Zaman Force? I think they might have gone for the end there.
He also had no mana earlier.
He also had no mana earlier. So now RRQ, they're just going to take their time with this. This is the exact same position. Oh, no.
He's just standing there, dude. Ewc doing more damage. Dyron with a knockout strike. ISO there. Dyron will fall. At least there's a punish. But my lord, was that just soul-crushing?
The RRQ playstyle. They know what they're doing here. They know what they're doing. They're an absolute brick wall. That's why they're considered a pillar in these international tournaments. They are. If you can't beat RRQ, man, it's going to be really, really tough if you want to get into the upper echelons of the internationals. But hey, keep in mind, Area 77, they're very new to this. Every single one of them. This is their first time at an international. So this could be a learning experience of their own. How macro leads to these devastating feeling fights.
Depending on how they adjust for the next match. That's so fast of execution.
Oh, he got
Shiro gets the steal, but will fall to the heavy spin. I think it's a worth it trade at this point. They need to get anything they can. But can they defend now is the big question.
Oh, it looks like it's going to spawn in a couple of seconds. I think the RRQ, they're going to back things off, right? And without their whole team together, more importantly, the Rins had to go for the initial recall because he got chunked out pretty hard by Shiro's side. As you can tell, I mean, Sutsujin probably not going to show much on his face, but oh.
Another knock with Lancer Flare. Should be a free kill. Eat up. No, okay.
Sky Piercer, thank God.
Sky Piercer, there you go. A77, another breath of fresh air for them as they can prolong the game at least to a point where hopefully ISO and Shiro does enough damage.
I can just imagine Kescute in the background. He's putting on the rings. That heavy left hand is coming real soon.
Oh, the RQ boys might be shaking off that thought, man.
Is that eyeshadow? Is that a bruise? Let's find out after the news. Look, as we see the items, they're building up. And you can see that even Sutsujin is getting a little greedy with it. He's like, Anticuraz, are we going to get any MR? No. I'm going to immediately go for the Guardian Helm. I'm going to sustain forever, boys. Look at the damage rankings, right? Toy and Rins are doing phenomenally. ISO is catching up, and same goes for Hunter. But Shiro making that initial steal definitely covers him this game.
Yeah, and that's the reason you see Hunter at number 3, guys. There's just no magic defense. Like, RRQ have so many ways to deal with the Granger, the CC, and even the Lancelot, but not much itemization for the Juicin. That's why the Juicin has been doing more than the others. And that's a concern, because Juicin's not really a damage hero, it's a utility.
It really is. And again, Hunter doesn't have a Sky Piercer as well. They want all those Sky Piercer stacks to fall into the hands of ISO ideally. Oh.
Over to Edoff, but the stun, no, 4-man Rins with the damage now as Toy pops in. The Chrono Dash has them on force, will be able to pop it in now as Shiro walks away. Bodge will fall. No flicker already used earlier. ISO, no flicker too. RQ might just be looking for the end here.
Why are we always picking off Edoff every single time? They can't seem to find a window to kind of break through this defense. And now inhibitors are going to fall. Sutsujin tries to make a play of his own.
Another flicker, Diamond with 1v1 over. Knockout strike, doesn't get the last shot. And oh, Toy with the Zaman Force now on ISO, jumping again. Base wide open, a few waves coming down as well. This will be it. RRQ takes a clean sweep against Area 77.
A crushing defeat here as RRQ welcome Area 77 to the internationals, their first best of 3. Oh, what a victory for RRQ Indonesia. Renmar, come on, what do you think about that match? Because to us, it was pretty soul-sucking, but that's the RRQ playstyle.
Yeah, textbook and ruthless. It's unfortunate that, again, this is the first matchup that Area 77 is going to have for the group stages, because against a team like RRQ, they don't give you a lot of opportunities to shine if they really know just how much better they are compared to your team, and that's exactly what we saw.
We needed to see resistance from Area 77. Force RRQ to kind of play your game. Force RRQ to kind of break out of that standard mold, because that's how we see RRQ lose their games, when they start to walk out of the template and make Kescute a little angry.
Angry Kescute, never really a sight that you want to see if you're the RRQ players again, but I think they played it clean enough to avoid an angry Kescute.
I don't know. Dyron's couple of devs there, and Sutsujin.
Maybe Dyron.
Yeah, maybe Dyron. Maybe Sutsujin is like, oh no, please. I'm sorry I lost the Lord, but Dyron died like twice.
I'm guessing maybe Kescute gave them a chance. All right, how many deaths can I expect from you? At least 2 at most. At least 2 at most. And, well, I mean, they only ended up giving up 3 total kills as a team. So yeah, I think we can consider this as a very clean performance from RRQ. While for Area 77, I do like that we still saw the effort. Again, as hero, yeah, I'm not calling him hero, he was a hero for getting that Lord steal for Area 77. But at that point, it was just delaying the inevitable. You can see just how much better RRQ are in terms of executing. The fact that an Akai really does mess up teams of this caliber, because one heavy spin ruins how you want a team fight, and they tried, but it's RRQ.
And again, fun fact for you guys back at home, this means that there is no longer 100% win rate for Juicin anymore.
Let's go!
And no 0% for the Zetian.
Let's go!
All the Zetian mains and Juicin mains very happy right now with this resultant outcome. Exactly what they sound like right now all over the world. But yeah, I feel like this is one of those series, one of those games that there's not much a lot to say, because again, we didn't see enough of Area 77 here. We can say they tried, we saw the moments, but again, it's RRQ. They're just so smothering in their gameplay.
They really are. And I think at this point, it's clear that they want to do what they have to. But it looks like Sutsujin seems to be ready.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's time for the interview with Eterna.
Thank you, casters. It's Eterna now with Le Mercenaria. We have Sutsujin from RRQ. Once again, congratulations, Sutsujin.
Thank you.
All right. So coming into this, most of you are coming in with absolutely no MSC experience. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So how does it feel to finally come here for EWC to represent RRQ?
Well, it's great, but I think because we are already in many international tournaments, so I think it's okay.
It's okay. It's just another day at work.
It's fun.
It's fun. Okay. How does Toy feel? Because considering your last official international Moonton appearance, you were with Skylar. Is he okay with everything? Any nerves?
Oh, he's okay. He never nerves. Yeah.
Never nervous. Okay. Confident Toy. So coming into this, is there any pressure? Considering you guys are representing RRQ and RRQ has a very big fan base.
For pressure, I think no pressure because it's we've been through many tournaments, right? So I think there's no pressure anymore.
Okay, so you're just doing what you gotta do right here. Impressive, right? 2-0 already. Now, this is kind of a tricky question. You can say no. You don't have to answer, okay? But a lot of people are awaiting your performance here at MSC, and on the way to MSC, there are talks that people have coined you the term local kings. Do you have a response towards that?
I think it's okay they say local kings because it's a fact, right? So we just need to try our best to prove in this MSC.
Okay, so just try your best to... I don't think that's true. I mean, you know, you've come to a lot of grand finals on the international stage. Now, I feel bad for asking. Do you have a message to KB? Because that's what KB said.
Yeah, it's the fact.
It's a fact. Okay. So, considering next up, you are going to be either facing Onyx PH or Aurora from Turkey. Who do you think you're going to be facing up?
I think Onyx PH.
Can I know why?
Yeah, because I think they're stronger than Turkey team. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be Onyx PH.
Okay. If you think it's going to be Onyx PH, let's close with a message for Onyx PH.
For Onyx, if you win later, just give a good match for our match.
Do you think you're going to win?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You heard it from Le Mercenaria from RRQ. We're going to throw it over back to our casters. Good luck, Sutsujin.
The perfect man to represent the aura of RRQ. Stoic.
Yeah.
Truly,
He just accepts it, dude.
He really does. He's so down to earth, you know? If I close my eyes and I listen, you know, Kescute, Sutsujin, one in the same soul.
He's too real. He's too real for MLBB Esports, man. Someone save him. Nah, but yeah, I mean, it's a great mentality to have, right? Like, you just need to prove the haters wrong. Like, whatever the haters say, if it's true, it's true, whatever. But, you know, here, this is the time for us to prove it wrong. They're encountering the unknown.
Yeah, they're really just looking at what they can do to make sure that, you know, we can change facts. You know, you can, well, I mean, not all the time, but I think you guys are trying.
They have a chance to.
They have a chance to change the narrative here around RRQ. And again, with a performance like that, they needed to set that standard with this very first one. Because, man, if they lost the game to Area 77, if Area 77 won the series, if this game or this entire series was significantly closer than it was, they would not hear the end of it. And that's going to be a long talk at the drawing board with Coach Kescute about as to why this series was close. But that is not what we got. We got a dominating RRQ performance.
I mean, no surprises here, honestly, throughout the board. I just wish that RRQ were able to kind of, you know, try and push and extend their leads. Because a lot of it just comes down to a matter of inches. They're just, you know, a bit of maximizing values, maximizing a couple of gold leads, but nothing really flashy. And I think the only person who got to have fun was Dyron. And I think, you know, that's where the 2 deaths came in, where it's just like, okay, I guess fun has a price.
Yeah. All right. Now it's time to find out who the Sony MVP of the match is. I believe it's going to be from RRQ, and it is none other than... And Toy on this Harith. Well, yeah, he played a perfect game.
Yeah. I actually would have given it to Rins, like, especially game 1. But yeah, 6-0-4, not to take anything away from Toy. He was playing incredibly here too. This is the normal take, I would say, on the Harith itemization. It's not the Enchanted Talisman that we did see from Innocent just yesterday. It's still Sarlium Scythe, and it still works, hey, especially if you're winning in lane level 1 to 3 against the Granger. Like, we need to see that, like, if possible, in replay or something. It's like, how?
How did it work out in their favor? I'm not even 100% sure. At the end of it, it's just standard all the way through a majority of the laners. Even like the 2v2s we were seeing in the mid lane was in favor of RRQ as well. Dairon was doing a very good job until he overcommitted, got out-rotated, and then died. But other than that, it was pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah, and that was a terrific win by RRQ. Hopefully we get to see more of a brilliant Area 77 performance in their next matches. That is it for the first half of the second day of the MSC group stage here at the Esports World Cup. But coming up next, we have our SNB match of the day between Onyx PH and Aurora Turquia on behalf of Gideon and Mirko. We're going to be signing out. You're going to be joined by Lafel, Brigida, and Naisu. Coming up, we'll see you in just a bit. See you guys.
picks that we got to see come through. Yeah, the Paquito. Even earlier on, we saw the Leo Mord.
Yeah.
I think everyone was shocked by that, if you will. For maybe that becomes a new thing in everybody's ranked games now. You're going to see a Leo Mord Gold.
Will they be brave enough to try it though? Like after that kind of unsuccessful campaign. I know it's just been a single series, but you know, it's been almost a win for Team Flash, but it still wasn't. But now that we're looking at two teams who are led by Filipino coaches, I'm thinking we're more likely to see picks that don't veer too far away from the current meta that we have.
So we're definitely be looking at all those oppressive mages, the ones that deal a lot of damage. Unless you can actually get an assassin jungler, then we might see the utility. Because I think something that we can bring up is that so far the first 2 days, teams are really liking that Jushin, which if we look back previously, teams really don't favor them. Or if they use them, they just don't get the wins.
For Super Friends though, I think it's one of his favorites.
Yeah.
Like the Jushin has had a very high win rate whenever he got his hands on it, which actually, now that you mention it, the Super Friends Rosa matchup might look pretty interesting. You know? Like I feel like the Farsa, if ever it does come through, could it be highly contested between these two teams?
I think it's first pick priority, because if it's not banned out, we could see the Farsa go through honestly first pick if that seems to be the play here, especially for someone like Super Friends. But still, we also have seen them kind of opt to wait as the draft goes on, because Super Friends as well has been one of those players that brings out, for example, the Selena. And he is just able to play the Selena very different than anybody else, like for some reason.
Yep, the Jushin has been banned, so there is a chance that the Farsa could get picked up. And if we're talking about the mid laners here, Rosa, if you look back in his history, he's not known as a one trick. He has a lot of tricks in his pocket. Like we've seen the Valentina, we've seen the Lilia, and I believe he even had a time where he used the Lunox. So I kind of feel like, in terms of the matchup, you really don't mind letting Rosa just wait a little bit and then maybe even counter draft. Or maybe he can make Zetian look really good.
Yeah, I don't even know if, like, wasn't Rosa one of those who was brave enough to bring out like those fighters in the, the mid lanes too? So maybe okay, there I was supposed to say maybe the R-Lot for now. If Naisu did mention earlier that Onyx tends to save the Super Friends heroes for later, since he does have such a wide hero pool, but that might lead Rosa to picking it up here.
I think you can pick up the Farsa. Farsa is a bit difficult against Arlet.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think, man, against the Arlet though, and this is still technically what we find the Arlet still in basically a flex position for the most part. So I feel like that's something that Onyx Philippines likes to do, and especially with Coach, why not kind of pick up one of the heroes that you can still flex in later on, depending on how this first phase plays out. So Phoveus will come up for Aurora, and then they get the Kalea, which was obviously open still. We see that banned out quite a bit, but this time I would say Aurora, you know, this is covering the grounds work of initiation, pick-off potential, but then that front line tankiness too, and some of the sustainability that helps out the team here.
I like that they pick up the Kalea because it really opens up their draft in case if they want to play more burst instead of giving it over to Onyx Philippines, where we know for them aggression is a big thing. So if you give over a very aggressive roamer, it could cause problems.
Yeah, and you have to be cautious about who you'll be putting in the front lines if you're Onyx Philippines, because the Kalea can just constantly try to go for these front lines, but they still pick up the R-Lot and Fredrin combo nonetheless. So just as I was thinking, we might be seeing some of the damage dealers for Onyx for now. They just went for the Moskov. They literally saved the mages for the second phase.
And now we got a fun fact here. Kelra currently holds the record for most kills, 258 among all players throughout the history of MSC. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That is a lot.
I think the second place behind him, and I'm sure we'll get this a glimpse of this later, probably today. So I don't want to spoil anybody, but I think it's like 100 difference between the two.
It's a quite big difference.
Yeah, so that's just, again, Kelra's had quite a bit of experience in MSC throughout his career so far, and obviously this is something that Onyx Philippines wants to go ahead and achieve in, you know, hopefully getting this championship for them under their belt after being the M6 World Championship champions. So this Lancelot gets picked up. This is an interesting matchup in the jungle. Lancelot against Fredrin.
I like that both teams, they're just delaying their mid lane pick.
this was something King Kong mentioned about Tianzi. The fact that they respect and acknowledge how good his mechanics actually are, and now we'll be seeing it in as early as game number 1, because he'll be picking up the Lancelot up against this lineup of Onyx PH, which so far I feel is a very confident pickup since they also have the Phoveus and the Kalea, so they already have the other members of the team out there to set things up for them. Not that the Lancelot can't do things entirely on his own, but with the CC taken out as well, this is looking somehow... I think Aurora might feel comfortable so far with the first few picks that they have.
It does look like they're banning out the CC because they're really thinking that the Arlet has a high possibility of actually going in Rome. So now I'm thinking for Onyx Philippines, they need some kind of continuous damage here in mid if this Arlet does end up going to Rome. Because I kind of feel like they do want to get the ball rolling at least by Turtle 2. So I wonder what kind of mid they're going to get, because neither team looks like they want to counter it. They don't want to ban anything. They just want to counter it.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, even when we get for this last ban, the Farsa is still going to be open. But I don't know, man. If it's going to be the Farsa, I wouldn't even be surprised if still in the lines of if they're focusing on objectives, because this lineup is that. So they take out, they're the one, Onyx Philippines is the one to take out the Farsa. You know, do they go for something else now that we don't have those 2 mages that pop up? Zetian's still available. Zetian, but then you also have an Eve, for example. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe even an Eve comes through for Super Friends, but they have a lot of options. Again, I think that's why it's so crucial that you really consider the hero pools of Onyx Philippines. But this is also great because this is also showing once again that the familiarity between the 2 teams here, and of course the coaching staff. Like, we're gonna take the Selena just in case Super Friends was planning to go ahead and get that, like we mentioned earlier on.
Yeah, Dexter and MTV are so used to going up against Onyx Philippines at
Feels
this
like
point.
in the Philippines again.
Right? We're just in a different place.
Yeah, it's just a bit hotter.
Oh, it's such a deny pick as well, because if you think of the other mages that are left, there are like the Zetian, the Luyi. I know it's one of Super Friends' most used picks, but so far we haven't been seeing much of the Luyi.
Did you expect this?
So now...
I mean, it was in my script.
It was?
Oh, yeah, actually, it was here. So, yeah, because here's the thing. It was in the script. Actually, for Rosa, picking up this Valir, my only worry is damage. That's it. That's it.
I mean, you said continuous damage, but you know.
Technically,
you know what? You guys need to take my nuggets of knowledge.
Yeah.
Because even I don't know I was saying the right things. So you guys have to be fast about it.
Oh,
Ixia. All right, this is interesting because there's no one really able to go to the back line unless it's Arlet or Moscow. But hey, at that point, you just got to be very confident in your own positioning. I actually... Both drafts are very interesting. This is a good match of the day to actually see how both teams really perceive the meta. I'm interested to see the Valir. I'm interested to see the Ixia. I was right, but not in a way that I like it. Anyways, I'm going to give it over to you guys.
Thank you so much, LFL. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to the English broadcast for Msc 2025 at EWC. It's our 3rd match of the day. And as you're witnessing, our drafts here are phenomenal for game number 1. It is a best of 3 once again for both these teams here. Onyx Philippines, the current world champions, going against Aurora from Turkey, will be going against each other. And who gets the first blood here, we're going to find out in this series. Welcome to it. It's me and Brigida to bring you the action.
I cannot believe we're seeing the Valir-Selena matchup for game number 1. LaFell did mention continuous damage, but whether or not they're able to maximize that, we'll see it now because they're playing it very aggressively in the first few minutes. But Super Friends, because of that aggression, is forced to flicker out and will receive the Sword Rose first blood immediately for Aurora Gaming.
I don't know what our fastest first blood. I know it was around like the 30.
26.
26?
We beat it yesterday.
Okay. It was beaten yesterday.
They wanna beat the record.
Yeah. Still under the minute. First blood going in the hands, especially for Tianzi.
Yeah.
That's great for Lancelot to get a start here, and you can see this. This is what I was worried about for King Kong, though, too, because if you get a lead, you then have to rely on the team to help you, even this.
This is such an aggressive start for Aurora Gaming, and the Abyssal Arrow lands onto King Kong. Second casualty of the game, but the punish. They'll be able to take down Apex 47. Okay, things are looking good for Aurora Gaming right now.
It's a great start for them already. 2 kills for TNZ, you know, an assassin that has popped up multiple times already throughout our tournaments here. And you get 2 early kills, that's going to be great for you. You can already see the emblems too, nothing too crazy, but you got a whole lot of tank emblems. And of course, you're still going to see that Temporal Rain here for the Valier.
Yes.
Apex? Okay, he's not going to get stunned.
So it seems like whenever Super Prince does want to go for the Vengeance Flame, again, that has some sort of purify to it, you'll be able to spam your skills a lot more. The team fights will be a lot more difficult for Aurora Gaming if ever they get to be the recipient of the Burst Fireball then and now, every now and then. But still, like, this I mean, the mere fact that there's a Selena and you're a Fredrin, right?
It's not going to be fun.
It doesn't look too good. So let's see how this pans out. Aurora Gaming are the first to position themselves in the turtle.
All right, they'll get positioned. You can see the rotating happening here too. Superbone making his way down for this turtle. So they want to go full force for this fight. They want to secure the objective. They've already had a good lead. Oh, it's going to break out. Brusco forced off of this. He doesn't have level 4, so no final slash. That's an easy turtle. I think they just disengage.
Oh, but Onyx might want to go for it, though. Brusco, the Tsunami Slam will be used onto him. And then now Lunar will be isolated on the back line, but so will be Brusco. He is the first to fall, and Lunar will be next. But does Aurora still want to fight this? Now it's Rosa. She won't be able to escape. So somehow Onyx might have equalized it in a way.
I mean, at least they get 2 kills off of that. You know, it's still a small lead for Aurora Gaming right now, but this is, I guess, that was a preview of what the lineup is capable of for Onyx Philippines. Obviously, they're going to need some more time. Also, when that fight before it broke out, the Spear Destruction from Kelra came through, but it didn't land, so he couldn't join this fight. So, you know, essentially, you find yourself in this, but still relatively even because it's a 4v4, and they just go for it. And it's, you know, it's one of those lineups from Onyx Philippines that needs time to literally cook here. But Rosa gets taken out, of course, from King Kong, and he's got a little bit of catching up to do. I'm not sure if he's too far behind in terms of gold, but at least, you know, he's about half a level or a level or so behind TNZ right now, and TNZ is 3-0 on this Lancelot already.
That's huge for a Lancelot to get an early 3-0, which is why Onyx PH, they might be respecting this right now. They're playing somehow a little more careful, but now that they see Rosa isolated in the mid lane, they find a way to deal with him. Now going for Apex 47 next. These are 3 members of Onyx PH, but that's the Tsunami Slam already committed onto Brusco. TNZ also here, but they won't be committing the fight just yet.
Okay, King Kong wants to take this because, as you can see, he's 2 levels behind. So he goes and grabs that. Turtle's going to be up in 10. So Onyx, what they're really looking for is just some of these pick-off potentials. They found them. They've pretty much dissipated the gold lead that Aurora had. Mid lane's going to be put some pressure here, but this is what we're going to see. Aurora Gaming goes back into position for the objective. This time around, though, you still got both gold laners up on their own. This is going to be started up. Super Prince picking up a glowing wand. So now Rosa firing off from the back angle, but will be forced back. King Kong, even despite it all, we'll just jump on in, and this is the hard part for TNZ. He's got to find the right window.
They start things off, use the final slash, but then the turtle, it's still going to the hands of Aurora. Rosa also takes the kill on Brusco. King Kong somehow trades Apex 47, but Rosa with a double kill takes down Super Prince, and Kirk makes it just in time to find the kill.
A big trade, though. Aurora's going to get more. They're going to get this mid turret off of that. Good thing for Kirk. At least he gets a kill. There's a trade and an objective as well, as Kaoru was able to push in that tier 1 up top. We'll take a look at the instant replay again. This was a fight that was in favor of Aurora. TNZ goes in, especially with a full barrage laid down right there. It was a great fight position for them, and they kind of separated Onyx Philippines. You know, the Super Fam literally got separated in this fight, and they had to just kind of be in that position of, let's go get something. If we can't Lunar, though.
Oh, they're trying to get something again here in mid. Super Prince seems like he's having such a hard time. Rosa might still actually go for it. Sigibom, nice placement. But still, it's literally so difficult for Onyx Philippines to find an angle here. The biggest worry for Onyx PH at this point is it feels like they need a bit more time to set up for them to be able to use their skills, similar to the Appraiser's Wrath when they wanted to go for that objective. I mean, it was Brusco who started things off, but Aurora Gaming, they have much faster ways to respond, to fight back. and do it explosively, not the way Onyx PH kinda needs a bit more of like buffer or loading time.
Brigada, they need a lot more buffering time. Also, they need to deal with Tienzi. He's 6-0 at this point. He's been pretty much untouched, and then he just picked up the brute force as well. You can see the lead, man, that he has on King Kong. You know, this is what I was worried about in the draft when you saw that Fredrin come through, and then you see the Lancelot, which has been picked up time and time again in our matches so far. And you get this kind of lead, which all started from that early first blood. You get a lot of opportunities to go ahead and play the way you want in your jungle alongside the team here. Plus, the fact that you have a Selena to help provide some division is, you know, phenomenal for them to work around with. So I expect this just to be their free turtle, 3 for 3. I think Onyx Philippines is just going to have to adjust and be like, all right, how do we approach this first Lord coming up?
Yeah, at least they have Kellera, they have the Moskov, so they can somehow deal with the macro. But Aurora Gaming, they're still going to go for it. That's the Flicker Tsunami Slam into the strike, already committed by Apex 47. Immediately taking out Kickoff. Final Slash connects onto Sigibom, but still the damage coming in from Aurora Gaming seems like it's going to be enough. It's a triple for Tienzi. Sigibom gets taken out. Kellera might be the saving grace, but will he be able to do it? He's up against two members and he won't.
What a play with such a good final slash, but unfortunately for Onyx, they weren't able to win that fight. Great placements here from Aurora Gaming. Again, it was initiated by them. Look at the final slash that comes through, even onto that full barrage.
Yeah.
Great placement, but again, they were behind, and Kellera really wasn't there for that majority of that fight until the end here, and he really can't go against a Tienzi. Look at him, he's 10-0-1. On this Lancelot.
What is this KDA? How did this come?
Has he found the right balance between aggression?
Okay, so out of the 14 kills, he hasn't been part of 3.
Yeah.
Just 3. The math is not
Quick
mathing,
maths.
but you know, it's just how surprising the game is. Imagine this much of a lead between Tienzi and King Kong. That's 3K? Around 3K? Between the Fredrin and the Lancelot. And you know that if it is a Fredrin jungle, then you basically are going to be the utility. You just want to set things up for your teammates. But Kellera, oh no, Apex 47, there to protect his teammate, there to protect Sigibom. They have to reposition unless Onyx PH still want to take on this fight. There is somehow still a lead between them and Aurora Gaming, but it feels like they desperately want to at least get something.
Yeah, it seems like Onyx Philippines right now is kind of scrapping for whatever they can get.
No.
That is a massive differential between the junglers right now. Tienzi, this is how confident he can be too, that he just takes things from King Kong. So, you know, that's tough to see, especially if you're in that position for King Kong right now, and you're down multiple levels. Whoa, Super Fritz?
Okay, at least the flicker was there. But that was a very close call. I mean, Super Prince was confident enough to not use the Vengeance Flame, not like it could do much anyway. But still, at least they still have, or he actually used it. No, the Vengeance Flame, not the flicker. So now, how does Onyx PH deal with this? Kirk, will he try to look for a setup? King Kong up front. Oh, they seem to be bursting Lunar down. Gets to switch targets though, looks for Super Prince, and the full barrage immediately cancelled out. King Kong, however, he won't be able to tank enough damage. Kirk also next on the chopping block. Double kill for Tienzi. That's enough members taken out from Onyx PH. It's only the KK connection left alone.
Oh, Rosa, okay, throws down an arrow, but not going to connect. They get everything that they wanted here. They're also going to get this Lord. Time and time again, in fight after fight, Onyx Philippines just can't get one in favor for them. Even if they take someone down, it's just Lunar, because Lunar's just jumping in front of 5 dudes.
And he survived.
He's jumping for the Super Fam, yeah. And look at how long he survived.
He went in back again, got a kill.
He's like, oh, hold on, I'll come back. And like that ends up working out for them. And this is once again this lineup that Aurora Gaming has is just, it's working in synergy really, really well.
Yeah.
So as they lead into this Lord is going to be pushing with them. This is going to be a tough one to defend, I think, even this early on.
And imagine during that fight, the full barrage was cancelled right away. So they didn't even get to feel the full duration of the full barrage just yet, but that was already the amount of damage and pressure that Aurora Gaming already showed them. There goes the full barrage again, though.
Boom's like, let me at least just go ahead and use it on this wave so I can at least get a full. But he even ended it, so he's like, nah. Picks up the Malefic gun. Boom in a great position. This whole time, it's so funny because this is one of those instances, and maybe, you know, Ewc is just one of those heroes where it's like, yeah, you're kind of just the covering fire hero or person on the team. Very similar to what we see with like Farsas in terms of, you know, the magic damage burst. But Ewc here is he's 0-1 and 11, has massive assists because of the fact that, yeah, all he has to do is pretty much post up, pop the full barrage, and he's okay. He's able to pump out damage. He's even got that Sea Halberd himself. He did pick up a Sky Piercer, so it's like, if he is going to get a kill, it's going to be just, you know, a one-off because everybody's low.
What if he decides to use it late into the fight? Then that's going to be a problem too. Because either way, the Sky Piercer, if it does get some stacks later on, though, it's going to be a problem for Onyx PH, even if they try to run away. The lack of range is honestly getting to them.
Yeah.
They have no ways to deal with, again, Sigiboom. And even during the times where Brusco does find the final slash, does find the stun, who could you rely on to supply the follow-up damage, to burst down these damage dealers from Aurora Gaming? Literally none.
You gotta rely on your fam. That's why they're the super fam. But right now, it's not working out for them. And there's been some good final slashes from Brusco, but like you said, and you know, earlier on, we need plenty of time before anything to happen for Onyx Philippines. If you really want to see them turn this fight around, they have a massive goal deficit to worry about and work against. Maybe something can happen around the Lord, but most likely not, because you're a Fredrin for King Kong. You know, it's not like you're going to be able to just kind of surprise them. Like, Fredrin literally walks up with his hand in his pocket. You're not surprising anybody. So there's been some instances where it's like, all right, well, what do? It's either that final slash or Kirk. Kirk is the other option whenever that flicker is available to actually go in and, you know, flicker in, Earth Shatter, onward somebody.
Okay.
It looked like they wanted to make a play on Sigiboom.
It's an immediate counter engage from Aurora. It's not that Onyx was even able to find the right engage. King Kong, the first pickoff. They look for Super Prince next, and Rosa catches up to him. Now that you take out the jungler, what else is there to worry about? But nonetheless, Yenzi might still try to go for the fight. Abyssal Trap does not connect to Kelra, but they might actually try to go for it here.
These arrows are crazy. They've been on point from Rosa. It almost seems like Onyx Philippines just walking into them, and they try to hold on the best they can. They'll lose the top turret, mid turret, and Aurora will just make their way to this Lord here. Kirk's going to try to give them some vision. You've still got a couple seconds for the rest of the team to be up, but they might be a little bit too late if they try to actually make this happen. It would be an absolute miracle. Almost 10,000 gold behind if they actually contest this, but it looks like that's not going to happen, but they fight anyway.
Aurora still decide to fight this. The Abyssal Arrow doesn't connect onto anyone. Kirk, though, does the Primal Wrath, but this might be the opening for Onyx PH. SOT already committed. Lunar will be the target, but Sigiboom gets to use the full barrage and takes down 2 members. Rosa also finds the kill onto Kelra, and this is looking bad for Onyx PH. It's a maniac for Sigiboom. They finally find a way to deal with the super fam.
And Aurora Gaming will take game 1 in this best of 3, a dominant one against the super fam.
Oh my gosh.
Is that what we expected?
That was a brilliant draft. You see just how familiar they are?
Yep.
I cannot believe the surprises. I knew it. They just keep coming.
It's one thing to have one maniac. It's another to have 2. And against Onyx Philippines. But here's the thing. There is a lot to talk about, and we have to talk about, number one, what is with the tempo here at MSC? It almost feels like the moment you get into games, someone's gonna die. And in this one, it was Onyx Philippines. They received the first blood, and then after that, I would say the good thing about Aurora Gaming is that with the draft and with their playstyle, they can fight at any time. But it looks like Onyx Philippines, they're waiting for their time. And this is something that I told my sister. Waiting sucks.
Waiting sucks?
Waiting sucks.
Oh, waiting.
Yeah, waiting. Waiting.
But like, okay. But like from behind, right? How else are they supposed to deal with it though?
Just
'Cause-
wait faster.
Just wait more.
Yeah, just wait faster, you know? Like, do that, but faster.
You know when you can like skip the waiting?
Yeah.
I wish that applied in real life.
Oh, yeah.
You know, speed it
Oh,
up.
yeah. just get here and just start do your own thing. Now, here's the thing. Honestly, looking at that game, there is a lot that we can talk about because even you guys during the draft, we're surprised because you thought there would be more damage coming in from Onyx Philippines considering the players that they had. It just looked like a bit of a mismatch between the playstyle and the heroes.
I think it really started under minute one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's always, I don't want to say always the case, but it's a lot of the cases when you are a hyper-scaling kind of jungler like a Lancelot in comparison to a Fredrin who needs a little bit more time. If you go down earlier on, you know, like Aurora is going to be that team that punishes that and doesn't let up at all. And that's exactly what they did here. So, you know, they had that from the get-go. They were able to go ahead and just find moment after moment in all these windows. And I really feel like, you know, you mentioned it, Lefel, like Onyx Philippines just didn't have that damage profile available for them because even when we saw some great final slashes, that was clearly apparent.
It's a 13-0-6 for TNZ.
That's crazy.
And I felt like the killing spree was just unlimited.
Yeah.
In that
He could have gotten a Savage, by the way.
Yeah. Imagine that. And it felt so hard for Onyx PH because even the ways they could do to start a fight rely on Kirk or Brusco. They're not the kind of frontliners who can just stand in front and tank the damage. They have to do something. And when they can't do that something, what now? Like, what's next?
Nice. So you know how we've been casting for a while, and every single time we go into game, there's like graphics showing, oh, they're here. I feel like for MSC, we should stop that because it looks like the 10-second mark, something happened. Because in my head, why was Onyx that far ahead?
Well, it was super friends.
Yeah, like what happened? Like, were they baited? Was the Cillian super low, so they had to move forward? Like, what happened? There's so many questions, and everything's just covered. Like we legit just don't know.
Yeah, you know, it's always good to get a little close up and stuff, but sometimes I guess the way the teams are playing right now, they're like, this is our moment.
This is our moment when they can't see us.
Make something happen.
This is where we shine.
Because you're a Valier, so you would assume you could just like keep throwing out those.
You don't have to be that far ahead.
But yeah, that's...
It's hard to do an analysis when you don't know what happened. But here's the thing, looking at TNZ, Rich Guy as well as the carry, Lunar took a lot of damage, and Apex 47, I gotta say, like, I feel like Kalia is not a hot commodity. Like, everyone wants that Kalia now.
Yeah, the Kalia has been great, man. I mean, it's still serving the purpose of, you know, initiations, pick off potential. You get that little bit of sustainability too. And I feel like she's just also a pretty good, like, brawler. Like, she can go ahead and hold her own. Yeah. And plus the concussive blast.
Yeah.
Usually. It's great there, but yeah, Tienzi, what a performance on the Lancelot.
I think that was what I was most afraid of when I saw the Kalea picked up and Onyx still deciding to reveal the Arlott Fredrin. I mean, you still can find a way to work around those two heroes. Those are still two very difficult frontliners, setup heroes to deal with, but the Kalea, in that case, paired up with other pick-off-centric mid laners and heroes like the Lancelot, it just felt like they were free enough to do their thing. They just had to focus on one player at a time, and they didn't have to worry about much, unlike Onyx Philippines in that game.
Now, here's the thing. After that game, I have just a bit of a hot take, which is presented by Al Habib Medical Group, Doctor's Note, and the hot take for this one, damage is kind of good. if only your draft has damage. Because look at this. What a perfect final slash. Look at this setup. Everyone is there. If only they had damage.
If only.
If only they had damage. Because here's the thing. I would say every single meta, the number changes. The equation changes. Personally for me, I feel like this time, having 3 damage profiles is great. 1 is super bad.
Yeah.
Because the moment that one person is gone, no one else can do anything.
Yeah.
2 is also already questionable because 3 is better than 2. So 1 chase here, 1 chase there, the other one just do whatever he wants. Yeah, I mean, like, crazy hot take. Farsa's kind of strong.
Hot take.
The damage is kind of good.
Hot take Farsa. Farsa comes through. If that's the case, you can do that. Or maybe they play...
Farsa Lancelot, no?
Huh? Farsa
Lancelot.
Lancelot?
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage. So if that is the case, but they go Granger, this is still...
Yeah, it's still burst.
That's
That's
still
damage.
burst. And they go
Okay.
Lancelot. So
Okay.
this is King Kong basically saying, hey, Yanzi, let me show you.
Hey. And then Tienzi will be like, hey, no, let me use the bridge. I don't know. Maybe the Haya?
What do
Maybe
they do?
Haya.
What do
Yeah.
they trade that out?
Or if they don't want to reveal much, double down on their other damage source. I mean, the Irithel is still there
Yeah,
too.
true.
So I feel like it could be a great answer considering the matchup, the mobility that it can have. Although it still doesn't change the fact that the Lancelot is a Lancelot.
Or just go back to Ixia. I don't know.
Oh.
Like, I feel like
yeah.
this third pick coming in for Aurora is going to be very important. And they pick up the Fanny. All right.
I just want to remind everyone, he wants
Holy
to...
shield.
Holy shield. You should be
Wow,
afraid
wow,
of him.
wee, wow. Yeah, you should be afraid of him. This guy's a bit different.
Oh.
The mechanics from game 1 and game...
I didn't expect the first Fanny that we saw
Yeah.
to be from Tienzi.
Here's the thing. This is what I heard. Like, yes, the energy is a big problem.
Yep.
But if you have a strategy where you just want to focus on one lane, doesn't matter, gold or EXP, the Fanny knows immediately where to go to.
Yeah.
The damage is still pretty good. It's still very bursty.
What's the strategy here for Fanny in your mind?
If Kirk has a very killable hero,
Yeah.
keep ganking the EXP.
Seems like a solid plan.
Hey, you just need my nuggets of information. It will work out. It will work out. Just keep ganking the EXP.
There should literally be a thing within
My nugget of knowledge.
Yeah, LaFell's Nuggets of Knowledge.
Sponsor me, please.
Every now and then.
Every now and then I need nuggets. Betting on the Badang, this is a pretty good band because, again, I kind of feel like Badang is an amazing playmaker where even if the game looks bad, he will always find ways to turn things around.
And it deals with the Fanny really well. So I feel like they could be taking out heroes which could deal with the Fanny. I mean, the Arlot, the Akais, they're still there. Not entirely sure if they've been practicing these heroes though, but they instead let go of the CC. I was thinking they'd be okay with these kinds of heroes in the XP lane.
Maybe there's just too many cables. You know, Fanny with the cables and then the yo-yos. They'll get confused.
They get wrapped up.
They just get wrapped up. It's like, wait. Like, logically, this doesn't work. So take it out. Oh, and again, it kind of is a good matchup against the Phobia. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's the real reason, but I prefer my previous reason.
Yeah.
I just want to get confused.
Either works, you know. But so the last band from Onyx Philippines is going to be the Cho. They take that out. This is going to be the response from Aurora. I think even for Onyx Philippines, if they decide to, I don't know, maybe go with the Akai in the XP lane. I mean, we've seen that quite a bit, even back for example, for MWI. Maybe they could go ahead and bring that out for this game number 2 to also kind of help with dealing with some of that pressure from the Fanny. But really, there's a couple options they can still go with here. For Aurora, on the other hand, are we going to see them pick up their gold laner right now?
Yeah. All of the old gold laners are actually open to this point, so it depends on whichever they want, and they go for the Moskov.
I mean, again, probably just thinking that I'm going to get ganked if I'm able to peel for myself and have the option to actually pick up the Purify might be good, because I think that's one of the things where we don't see too many different gold laners, is that not every gold laner can survive with the Purify.
What if Kirk likes the Hilda, right?
Oh, that's pretty good.
And there's a Fanny on the opposing side if you want to just keep rotating out of your lane. Maybe that can be an option, but if they want a bit more of crowd control, there's
Kadita! Ooh.
Oh!
All right, Kadita as well as Edith. I mean, like, this is one of his signatures, so probably just going based off comfort, and he felt like, I wasn't the reason we lost, so, you know.
Hey, that's a lot more damage that you were looking for. You beat me to it.
Hey.
Big damn.
I know you so well. Now, Aurora, the last pick here for their roamer. Because I feel like the Selena will be able to deal with the Kadita just by knowing where the Kadita is going to come from.
Yep.
But you need someone to kind of like help heal for your backline or just catch. So they pick up the Hilda. Okay.
Does she technically catch?
No, but we might see the same thing.
Yeah.
Where while we're looking at graphics, someone dies. Dude, Hilda and Selena. And the Fanny can just cable in and then get a kill.
That's
we
true.
might see a repeat of what happened in game number 1. But with that being said, I like that this time there's a lot of damage. And when we're talking about damage, we got to talk about Niso. So now, Niso and Brigitte, it's your turn.
Thank you so much, LaFell. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the English broadcast here. It's game number 2, this best of 3, where Aurora Gaming already took game 1 pretty decisively against Onyx Philippines. Brigitte, who you signed here real quick with the draft?
There's something
You don't even
about.
know?
No, I know. There's something about Kadita.
Kadita?
And I love it when I see a Kadita. Like, I miss seeing Kadita. I know before it used to be into Rome even, like every now and then you see the Kaditas. But now that we're seeing it in Super Friends' hands, I'm sensing a much aggressive start, supposedly, hopefully, for Onyx PH going up against Aurora, but just the same Apex 47, even if we're not seeing the whole picture just yet. Look at where he is right now. Look at where he decides to show himself up. But Tianzi, he has something in mind. He actually tries to go for Brusco. Forces out the flicker in less than a minute.
Early aggression is really what we're seeing from Aurora Gaming now, even in game 2. So they got a battle spell out. They get that flicker out from Brusco, so that's something, you know, Kirk, a little stutter step in there, but I don't think he's going to be able to do much. Mid lane, though, this is the thing. Can they actually go ahead and get an early start themselves for Onyx Philippines? Especially, like you mentioned, with a Kadita, that's going to be great. He already had to burn the Petrify, though, it looked like, so they weren't able to actually convert a kill here. You can see a whole lot of killing sprees, of course, a whole lot of assassin emblems for them. Pull yourselves together as well. And a little bit of the Festival of Bloods for Onyx Philippines, trying to extend some of those fights. And meanwhile, on the other side, you see Aurora Gaming. They just want to go for these kills. The lethal ignitions here. Lunar is going to do the same exact thing that he did in game 1. Like, he is the guy, the sandbag, to go ahead and tank up as much damage as possible. Well, Apex 47 just does what Hilda does best, and she is an annoyance to pretty much everybody.
Yeah, you're seeing how Rosa and Apex 47 really want to, you know, rotate faster along the map, which is pretty surprising for the Hilda and Selena in the mid lane. So that's pretty much how they're planning to play things out. I mean, I'm still not over the fact that Tianzi decided to wait there and try to get Brusco as first blood, but Onyx PH, they might secure the first objective of the game. Tianzi is nowhere near to contest for that objective, although they had some information though, so they might be trading it out for other things instead. But that other thing, could it be a kill onto King Kong? Tries to steal away the purple buff, but doesn't succeed in doing so.
Okay, that was a good attempt, you know, from Tianzi. He had the information, like you mentioned earlier, Brigitte, but couldn't take the buff away. So Tianzi at this point, especially as he gets his orange, is probably going to start to look for that first kill, that first co-pressure if they can. Kelra gets the information here, and you can see Onyx Philippines rotating down to keep them okay. Spear's going to be used. Just go ahead and spot them out, but Boom's not going to follow through. You can look at top lane too. Tianzi's been up there for a while, but it's not your ideal character to go for. You don't want to go for the Edith because of, once again, you can just kind of pop that Prime Wrath and be okay.
I mean, LaFell did say that though.
You did.
Like, if you want, you can try to go for the Edith. But again, since there's a lot of crowd control in Onyx PH, they're rotating relatively fast too. That might not be the best option. They disrupt Tianzi in his attempt to secure the orange buff. Rosa's Abyssal Arrow connects onto Super Friends, but they're not able to fight just yet. This is a much more careful approach we're seeing from Aurora Gaming so far. Now that they probably see Onyx is literally starting to fight back.
This is interesting because I feel like this is... Oh, never mind. Rosa is gone. Rough waves, not even a Petrify needed from Super Friends. So I was just about to say it was a killless game so far, you know, 3.5 minutes in, but Onyx Philippines made it happen finally. They have to be really calculated, I feel like, with this lineup too, on the pick-off potential that they're going to go for. So this might be the play from Aurora.
Oh, they catch Kelra down bottom. Is there a way to get out of this? There's a flicker. Somehow finds a kill onto Apex 47 still. I was surprised he was, but again, this is the card in the mid lane.
That was about the best you could hope for in that situation. a 1v3. So it is going to convert also to a turret for Aurora Gaming. But again, you have to find something. And for Aurora, that's the decision they made. It did go in the right hands too. TNZ picked up the kill. So now this might be where we see some of the pendulum try to swing in favor of Aurora Gaming. Lunar. Kelra.
Now I feel like the decision is to always go for the gold lane, but look at the title strike. Tsunami Slam denying TNZ of the pickoff. Sigibum will be trying to escape and successfully will do so. Great attempt, however, from Aurora Gaming, but you see just how alert Brusco is. He has to protect his gold laner this time.
Brusco is so good at just protecting pretty much everybody, but especially there for Kelra. Rosa getting pretty close here.
There wasn't a flicker for Rosa though, and there was a Petrify from Super Friend. Probably wanted to save it for later, but that could have been a pickoff. Yeah,
and that's okay. Again, you know, their Aurora Gaming seems to be going and just focusing on the macro for now. Really focusing on down, and if they can get some of these objectives, because you sort of have to be, like I said, very decisive on the fights you choose here. You can see this might be a moment for Philippines to start putting some pressure on their side of the jungle, but still they want to do it with caution, as Aurora's been doing pretty good at just farming up. You know, they're not too far behind or anything like that at all.
What is Apex 47 trying to do too?
He is the vision. He's the visionaire right here.
He's literally not letting go of wherever King Kong is, trying to go fully aware of whatever patterns they're trying to do. But does Aurora Gaming know that the plan is to actually attempt and go for the mid lane? Oh! The title strike was somehow denied by the Dark Wave from Lunar there. But Apex 47, he's still holding this spot.
Yeah.
He's not letting go of that area of the map.
So he cut that wave. They dealt with that, and they might get a little bit of pressure.
Won't be even able to use the SOD. TNZ tries to catch up, but I don't think there will be a fight breaking out anytime soon here in the top lane. There is an upcoming objective, so that's probably what they have to pay attention to. But speaking of paying attention, Apex 47.
This is why I was saying earlier, like, Hilda is just a nuisance to everybody. Because this is what, actually.
Now he gets to deal with him. Alright, we see King Kong actually find the kill onto Apex 47. This time though, TNZ also finds the kill onto Kirk. Brusco barely making it out alive. The Abyssal Arrow also won't make it. Rough Waves already committed there by Super Frizz, but Kelra with the Sky Piercer stacks will be the one getting the kill onto Lunar. King Kong. Okay, disengage for Aurora Gaming.
All right, they're going to disengage. The turtle's up here. Philippines might decide to go ahead and start it up. They did lose Kirk earlier on, so he's back up, as well as Brusco making his way to this fight. So they might secure themselves this objective. But Aurora Gaming, they'll go ahead and focus on getting TNZ his buff that he needs, and maybe just give this up. Apex will give them information.
Oh! Sigibum!
What?
What? Okay.
What a steal!
So the turtle still goes to Aurora Gaming nonetheless, and Onyx PH will just attempt to take the mid lane, but it's a successful defense for Aurora Gaming. Ooh, Apex 47 tries to go for Kelra. TNZ makes it cutthroat already committed, but he gets denied with that title strike. Once again, Kelra is protected by none other than Brusco.
Brusco is the man right now. Just, he's got to be mentally high-fiving Kelra, or Kelra's got to be doing that, because time and time again, he's there to go ahead and save him. And that's the way, I guess, you deal with a Fanny. Hey, if they're going to go for a gold lane, you know what? We'll just go ahead and Tsunami Slam him down.
Oh. That's a lot of crowd control. Will Lunar still be able to make it out of it? It is going to be a miracle if he does, and he won't. Rosa could be the next target, but they're gonna play it safe. Super Friends has the Petrify after all. Will still decide to go for it. Kelra now trying to take down Apex 47. He's been such a nuisance, and now he's finding it hard to deal with everyone all at once.
Onyx Philippines will get them the turret. Meanwhile, Aurora Gaming still working on the rest of the map here. They're not falling too, avoiding that initial burst of damage, making sure that you don't get picked off from Brusco, because he's been online, and then the Maleficor is picked up now for Kelra, as they go ahead and put pressure on this purple buff, and you know, TNZ's going to be fine from that.
Fortunately, he's still able to get it, especially as there is an upcoming objective down bottom, but I feel like this is going to be the problem now for Aurora Gaming. This is why we see Sigibum and TNZ majority of the time just on the opposite sides of the map. They're trying to deal with things right now through macro, since Onyx PH, it seems like they're grouping up most of the time. So they might be struggling to actually pull off whatever they intend to do. Now Apex 47 seems like the target for King Kong Phantom Execution. Everything is used onto Apex 47. A pickoff Bionic right before the objective.
It might be time for Apex. Oh, Lunar?
To be a little more careful, and could that be applicable to Lunar as well? Oh, somehow dodges the combo from Super Frizz and sustains everything with the Infernal Pursuit. Will Rosa catch up and deal enough damage? Also, will Sigibum decide to join as well? It's a no for now. Aurora Gaming have already lost 2 members.
They lost the 2, and yeah, maybe for Lunar, he's got to be a little more careful now, because this Lord is for the taking. Take a note of the positioning here, though, for Aurora Gaming as they go ahead and go for it. TNZ's not going to be getting there in time. A little bit too late towards that. So Lord secured here for Onyx Philippines. Great position for them to march towards the base of Aurora. We'll see how they kind of respond to this. Again, we really haven't seen Sigibum even be part of this a major fight just yet to utilize this Moskov here. So that could change. Kelra is going to be able to pick up a little bit more defensiveness. He gets a Wind of Nature now. So an extra layer of protection instead of just relying on Brusco here. As we take a look at the items, you can see as well, Sigibum is in fighting form. Yeah. But they actually want to try to go ahead and keep this together at the tier 2. I don't think they want to do that. Lunar jumps in though.
Oh, he still decides to go in. Apex 47 also from behind, and the Infernal Pursuits, they just keep coming. Sigibum also decides to join the fight, and it seems like they already have enough damage. Thorndroid somehow denies Sigibum of his attempt, so he decides to dash away, but they still get 3 members from Onyx PH.
Hey, great fight. They actually made it happen, defending under the tier 2 in the mid lane. They'll go deal with the Lord that's up in the bottom side. And they got 3 off of that, so it does slow down Onyx Philippines on that push. The Lord is cleared, and they hold on to the base shields.
Yeah, they hold on to the Holy Shields.
The Holy Shields.
So somehow, Aurora Gaming, despite everything that's happened in the past few minutes, seem like they're still brave enough to risk a fight, especially if they have the right resources to do so. I think now, if they have Sigibum able to join them as well, because we see how things were a little different now that Aurora Gaming, they've already completed the Trinity build for Sigibum. He already has the enough amount of damage. The Wind of Nature as well is already picked up, so things could be a little different. Oh, but there's the onward. Earth Shadow wasn't committed though. Lunar gets isolated, however, might be the pickoff for Onyx PH now. Darkwave already committed, but Super Frizz, once again, nearly dodges the combo. Won't have enough time to survive though. The Sky Piercer stacks on Kelra. They're starting to balloon.
Yeah, they are. TNZ going to go ahead and just try to get this as quickly as possible. Gets a couple hits away. Not sure if that... Okay, the Cannon does get that tier 2 turret. Might go for a kill in Kirk.
Well, there's no Primal Wrath, but would that still be the right decision? He will no longer decide to engage.
Oh, I thought Kelra was going to say he does that. Okay. Just a little bit late, but I was like, man, one shot in that bush.
That could have been very, very close for TNZ here. Clearly not the best situation for a Fanny, though. I mean, there was a clear attempt from the very beginning that they wanted to play this very aggressively, but I think a lot of this would be because of Brusco. Like the way the pickoffs are just constantly denied. I feel like even for Rosa, it's not the exact same Selena game where he just keeps going in and trying to look for the pickoffs. So it's just the macro they're trying to deal with clearly for now. But hold on the bottom lane, Apex 47 and Sigibum trying to take down King Kong. That was close. The SOD doesn't land, but they brought him below half HP.
There is a whole lot that could happen there if it was converted to a kill, but ultimately Onyx Philippines will go ahead and start up this Lord as they center around it. TNZ's going to go grab his purple buff, and this is just going to be the objective going in the hands of Onyx Philippines. Still, you got to go ahead and say, Aurora Gaming is trying. They have been doing this the entire game to push these off lanes and try to get what they can. They've gotten turrets through that. TNZ, that's his job right now. Even got a little bit of hits there on the top turret of Onyx Philippines in the base. But now they'll have to prep up for this Lord push. TNZ is still going to go ahead and put pressure on those lanes. Apex 47 is just around the corner for this. But I think ultimately y'all want to go back to the base to get ready to defend against that Lord, because we can most likely see that this is going to be a forced fight here. Apex 47 might just walk up from the back all the way from the bottom lane. It looks like they're going to do just that. And TNZ, I guess they just rely on, hey, we can actually defend this ourselves.
Yeah, they put enough trust in Msc Ewc and the rest of the members. Oh, are they going to punish King Kong?
TNZ's going to push it.
Darkwave doesn't connect, and TNZ clearly has a different plan in mind. And Apex 47 might be the one stopping everyone else from just being able to return back to their base. But the damage coming in from King Kong is too much to handle. Now, at least Kirk gets to recall and defend that bottom lane turret.
Again, you got to put respect here for Aurora Gaming on the fact that they are playing this at just the macro level. Because of the lineup that they have, this team composition allows them to do this. But how long will it continue to work? Mid lane, I see some action here. Brusco too being spotted out, but King Kong will try to keep them at bay right now. Taking some of these buffs. Purple buff's going to be taken next here, and you know, you got to take a look too. There's some immortalities that come into play now for Aurora Gaming. So we've already seen that preview of earlier on when Sigeboom was actually able to get in position to fight. The damage is there, and you see his last item, he did pick up the Malefic Gun. He's got a little bit extra range now to work with. Kelra goes a little bit more defensively, picks up the Rose Gold. So he's got that now, and this is going to be interesting because even though Onyx Philippines is ahead by 4,000 gold, it could still be a really even fight out.
Yeah. I think the toughest part, though, for Aurora Gaming is the way TNZ can't get his hands on his purple buff anymore. And we know how important that is for a Fanny, which is why now it's probably... there's no other choice than to just literally manage the sides for TNZ, because it'll be very risky if they decide to go on and engage a fight against Onyx Philippines with the limited resources that they have. Although, yes, there is a significant gold lead. I think we're nearing the point where it might not just matter anymore, because majority of the heroes, majority of the players have already secured all of their items already. I think we've seen a couple already complete their item builds, and those are mostly in terms of the damage dealers. Both gold and jungle heroes have already completed their builds already at this point.
Yeah, mid lane, if they get there, will help a little bit, but this Lord is up. Onyx Philippines will go ahead and start it up. I'm not sure if Aurora Gaming is actually going to be able to get in fast enough for this as King Kong secures it. Spear Destruction going to be thrown out, but no follow through. So Aurora Gaming will find themselves once again in a position here, Brigida, to just defend. And, you know, they've held out for quite some time, I would say, but Onyx Philippines, I think on this one, might want to go ahead and at least get all the base turrets down, potentially ending the game if they can. A little extra damage here at the Starlium side now picked up for Kirk too, so they're going to be trying to make a play here.
Yeah, they have to close out this game as soon as possible if they really wanted to. Oh, TNZ goes back. Might not be able to look for a lane that they can really manage, however, because Onyx PH, they've learned their lesson. They're dealing with all the waves all at once.
All right, let's see how they handle this. The Lord is in the base, and they've done enough cutting of the waves too to kind of handle it. Brusco's going to jump in. Mid turret's going to go down. Aurora Gaming hold it out. Oh, nice flicker.
That abyssal arrow lands onto Brusco as well. Could this potentially be the turnaround? Apex 47 still has the immortality, and now Aurora Gaming are taking down the members of Onyx Philippines one by one. Rosa, will he be able to catch up to Kelra? Kelra's just dancing in front of three members of Aurora Gaming. Abyssal Trap does not connect, and so will the Dark Wave. How is he able to dance around everyone like this? But he's finally taken down by TNZ, and that's three members from Onyx deleted in an instant.
And they waited more, and Aurora Gaming will have a defense, even though they lost all their base turrets. What an arrow!
King Kong will try his best to get out of this, but TNZ just needs one hit! He won't find that one hit!
He didn't have enough energy to go a little bit further, but Aurora Gaming off of that will go ahead and get a turret down in the mid. So close. Could have been quite devastating for Onyx Philippines if that happened. But what they've done is they've waited a little bit longer and even more and Aurora Gaming might have gotten themselves in a position to actually contest the next objective that comes up, this Lord. This was a great defense. Apex 47 staying continuously in the jungle on the backside is what also allowed there to be that pressure to force some of this positioning that we see from Onyx Philippines. I mean, again, there's only so much Kelra can do here on this Granger. Yeah, he was basically dancing on the Granger. He can only shoot one way.
Oh, but now they find Apex 47. Do they have enough damage? And they get to burst him down. Lunar next as well. 2 frontliners for Aurora in danger. Still goes in with the Infernal Pursuits, but that just converts into additional Sky Piercer stacks.
All right. Lunar, you gotta remind yourself and them to just calm down.
Oh, the Thorn Rose catches the Thorn Queen. And now that's 3 members of Aurora Gaming down. They might not even look for the Lord. Tienzi doing his best to try and manage the waves and potentially even look for a pickoff. But the Wind of Nature was already forced out of Sigibum. Kelra might just take down Sigibum right now. He still has the immortality, but look at that. It was just a single Phantom execution. And after 20 minutes in this game, Onyx equalized the series.
Took him a little bit longer, but Onyx Philippines will make it happen in game 2. Once again, a phenomenal game there from Brusco to be able to catch Tienzi half the time and keep Kelra alive the other half of the time. So great game 2, and now we got a game 3 ahead of us.
That was a banger of a game, because here's the thing, man. It's beautiful to watch when, okay, plan A doesn't work. You got plan B. It's both Tienzi as well as Sigibum making sure that the side lanes are looking good. And there were times where even Apex 47, he was the one that actually cut the waves to make sure that a push could not happen. I gotta say, this is very impressive coming in from Aurora Gaming, because even though they lost, they made a lot of amazing plays that could really transfer into a win. They were, like, I feel like when you guys were casting, like, if only this happened, if only more energy, if only this hit, if only that hit. A lot of things. There's so many what ifs in this game.
Yeah, but majority of the what ifs, they were really on Tienzi, on the Fanny, I feel. Like from the very beginning of the game, there was that attempt to go for the first blood, right? He stood there. It wasn't an immediate transition to the next buff whatsoever in terms of his farming pattern. He literally wanted to look for a kill. And it looked okay. It looked like it was going good. Not until Onyx PH kept denying him of the purple buff as well. So it seemed like he was just left with no choice when we entered the latter portions of the game.
I think that was a major point too. You know, Apex 47 a lot of times was providing the information that he had to. That's what Hilda does great at. But also the decision for Onyx Philippines at some points to just go ahead and take the purple buffs or what have you from Aurora Gaming really played its part in the bigger picture of the game. Yeah, it took them a little bit longer, but ultimately everything compounded for them to get the win.
Let me just say, watching Lancelot the previous 2 games reminds me of the debut of Lancelot, the moment that he got released. He was one-shotting people with a Thorn Rose, and that's what we saw in the late game. Only before this was worse because he did it with no items. Lancelot, when he was first released, was too much. I mean, like, now he looks good, but at least, you know, full items. It's fair. It's much more fair. I really feel like Kalia and Lancelot are the heroes that you really gotta watch out for, because you guys were talking about it. This was the previous one, but don't forget about that.
Yeah, that's a game 1 right
Imagine Kalia, right? If the Kalia was not there, how much could Tienzi actually got in that game?
Is Kalia just the best way to handle a Fanny now? I think after seeing that.
Ever since she was first released, because even in my head, I forgot about this, but like, dude, the opponent has a Kalia. Why are you picking out the Fanny?
That's actually true.
It's so easy to catch a Fanny with a Kalia.
Because like even during times where Kalia was first played in professional play and the Fanny 2 was a go-to ban, teams would just let go of the Fanny because they will be picking the Kalia either way. So I feel like that was something I wasn't able to completely realize as well. But then again, it denied a lot of the attempts. It made Rosa, it made Tienzi think twice about going in a lot of the times, just because even those clutch title strikes literally saved their damage dealers a lot of time. So Kalia, there's something about this hero for today.
Kind of strong. So it's definitely something that you got to watch out for, because we definitely see the pattern here in MSC where the spotlight is really on those junglers, because the junglers in this patch really does a lot of damage, especially on those Lancelots. And Kalia is one of the best counters for those kind of heroes. And maybe that's why we also starting to see all this Hildas, because Hilda is also a way to deal with the assassins. The only thing is, the times change. People change. In the early game, sure. Man-to-man defense, wherever the Lancelot goes, follow. If he needs water, give him water, right?
And this changed too, because there was no early kill.
There was no early kill.
Yeah.
Maybe they just needed that. Maybe they should have just been more aggressive in the early game.
I feel like they tried.
Yeah, they tried. They tried.
But
But
it just
this couldn't happen. Couldn't happen.
They heard what we were talking about. But, you know, I think I'm wondering if we get to a phase through MSC here where the Lancelot is starting to be banned out. Like from a lot of teams. Because they're just like, or is it always just going to be one of those open options, and the team that decides to take him gets that kind of... I feel like he is an advantage in a way.
This is from the previous game as well. Yeah, I kind of feel like Lancelot is just, in a sense, he does a lot what the meta needs right now. He's good for Turtle, especially Turtle 2 as well as Turtle 3, because of that Thorn Rose. Unless an SOD comes in and you're just like, there's no way a Moscow Fall can steal this turtle. But other than that, the Lancelot can do work. And also, we have a lot of good gold laners in MSC right now. So any kind of assassin that's able to go to the back lines, then that's the kind of hero that you want. And I kind of feel like everyone wants something like a Ling and etc. But they take too long. Lancelot, he doesn't.
Yeah.
At any point, he can just go for it.
And when we saw the Lancelot get his full build, like the BOD, the full damage, you saw how he was able to deal with even the Hilda, even Apex 47. Like, it came to a point where he couldn't do the man-to-man defense anymore because King Kong could really deal with Apex 47 already all by himself. And like what you mentioned as well, I feel like there were multiple times wherein Sigibum clearly attempted or did a lot to somehow save the game, especially this moment. I think this moment we're seeing here, I mean, look at that. Flush SOD and then him just surprising King Kong and everyone else from behind. But because King Kong was there.
Yeah. If this was anyone other than Kelra, should have died, and maybe they could have used that opportunity to end the game, right? Because he survived so long, a little bit too long.
He took their attention.
I feel like even they're like, guys, how is he not dead yet?
I think that was the case too, because even earlier on we saw him play 1v3 under the gold lane for tier 1 turret. So, you know, those are things you can always expect from Kelra. But it's the changing, I'd say, of the meta that we've seen so far. Because even back in M6, right, I feel like that was very gold lane centric.
Yeah, very gold lane
centric. And now we have what? Jungle centric.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the other one is like the third one that we really have to look out for is really that mid. But mid, at least for this matchup, is very subjective. Really depends on the heroes that they use, right? Because we've seen Rosa on the Selena twice. In game number 1, we saw the Valir. Still, in terms of the numbers, it looks good, but it was just not enough for the team. And now the Kadita. So I kind of
or those brief stuns you latch onto the opponents to make things a bit more difficult. Oh, okay. Cool steal from TNZ, denying King Kong of that, but they will be getting their level 4s nonetheless, so this is going to be interesting. The way they're able to manage and deal with the first objective of the game. There's a lot of action going in all parts of the map, but who's going to get to set things first?
All right, they get in position. Brusco, again, not level 4, neither is Apex 47, so both junglers will just get the busted. Is TNZ going to go for a... I thought he was going to go for a cheeky steal there, too. So, buff secured for King Kong. There's the fight.
Flicker from Kirk, followed by Brusco. They're really going after TNZ, but Super Friends, he gets caught, however. King Kong secures the turtle and just decides to walk away. So far, Onyx, they've been very decisive in wanting to take down TNZ, but it seems like they lacked the damage, or they weren't able to accomplish it just yet.
Wow, okay, so a couple things happened there. They were able to get the turtle as King Kong did the work.
Yeah.
They traded, of course, for a kill, so Aurora gets that kill. It was Sigiboom to catch him out. For Super Friends, so Brusco...
could still walk away.
Okay, Brusco's going to be fine, but also, meanwhile, all that, as Kelra's going to be the next focus here, okay, nice Mountain Shocker. I think Kelra's going to be fine. He did go ahead and rush into the Sea Halberd, so he grabbed that. He's going to clear out this wave here, and he also got a whole bunch of gold in his pockets. Rosa! Goodbye, Super Friends! It's been a minute since we've seen the Farsa.
He literally just landed and used the feathered airstrike. Doesn't want to have or allow Rosa to have the best possible game for the Selena once more, but I'm really liking how Keller is managing the gold lane. I mean, it has been a surprise to see the Ruby go up against this hero, but even when they already decided to rotate, even when TNZ decided to rotate, he knew that it was just important to keep the waves out of the turret. There's the AOG already committed by Apex 47, but they're being very particular about it. They don't want to engage in a fight that Aurora decides to set up for themselves.
Yeah, Aurora's got a couple options to go ahead and start fights up if they want to, and information advantage as well, especially with the Mountain Shocker once it's used, so they can play to that advantage if they want to. The turtle's about 10 seconds away here as Onyx Philippines tries to get in positioning. We'll see if they go for it. Apex 47 won't land that Unbreakable. Not going to get the taunt off from Brusco.
He decides to flicker. He actually tries to go for TNZ, but on the other hand, Lunar as well surprises everyone. The Primal Wrath won't last long, gets bursted down by Kellera and the rest of the members of Onyx. So it's a 1-for-1 trade so far. It's the EXP and the Roamer that gets traded.
It's going to be a tough one if they want to contest this. Super Prince doesn't have a Feathered Airstrike just yet, and he's quite low.
Yeah.
They might force it, but right now, Aurora will go ahead and secure themselves the turtle. So a good decision from them and good timing too. So now they go and get back into position. Kellera might have to be careful here. What we're seeing a lot is this Ruby being kind of a nuisance to deal with, especially with the Lancelot, for example, King Kong. Apex is here though.
Okay, they have to protect their gold lane, but the Abyssal Arrow and the AOG nearly lands, but it misses by just a bit. They'll have to let go of their tier 1 turret down bottom. And we're starting to see the idea that Aurora Gaming actually has. It's pressure, constant pressure on the gold lane. It forces reactions out of Onyx Philippines. They'll try to get a kill, however, onto Lunar, and they have enough damage to do that.
Good decision. I didn't think they'd go for it, but anyway, Apex 47 is going to get dragged back.
Yeah, there's the grab. Just one more hit. Will they be able to do it? Kirk delivers the final blow, and now Onyx PH, they're somehow ahead. They secure the lead against Aurora Gaming, although it's somehow just 1,000 gold for now.
Yeah, a whole lot of just trading going on, at least, you know, even in terms of around the map, those objectives, but Kellera's been having a pretty good time on this Beatrix, you know, sitting on 2 kills now. He's got a very minor lead against Sigiboom. And they can go ahead and play around the fact that Brusco has been doing the same thing. You know, every single time the Tsunami Slam is available, especially when the Flicker is there, he's going and being decisive enough to make those plays happen. And Kellera, all he has to do is, you know, set up. And, yeah, you can see the burst potential from this composition is something that Aurora Gaming is going to have to watch out for.
This kind of reminds you of the Beatrix and the Novaria, except that it's not a Star Shutter, it's the Feathered Airstrike that can be used to actually complement or vice versa, whichever they want to use first. So Aurora Gaming, if that was something Onyx wasn't able to get their hands on previously, now they have so much range, they have so much access, King Kong being one of them too. They can literally play with the angles whenever there's a team fight. And there you go, immediately taking down Rosa. There's the counter. I'm offended, nearly catching two, but still, they survive and walk away from all the threats. Kirk too, doing a lot just to zone out the other members of Aurora Gaming. The fettered airstrike, cooldown's over. So now they somehow gain control in the turtle pit, but
Lunar pops the Primal's Wrath. Now he's going to be in trouble. Kirk's going to go ahead and bring him on back. King Kong just around the corner, though. Is he going to commit to this? Goes in with Thorn Rose. They have enough damage to bump off Kelra, too. Oh, another shot, a double for Kelra.
Imagine that. He just had to wait for a bit to join back the fight again. That's King Kong looking for the targets, and he still doesn't want to stop. Phantom Execution doesn't land on Rosa, but there's the fettered airstrike. Still, though, he somehow makes it out alive. A clean flicker or a clean dodge coming in from Rosa to get out of that. But Onyx Philippines clearly in the lead right now. If it was just 1K earlier, now it's already 5K.
It's crazy how fast that ballooned up, you know, just in a matter of a minute or so. You get yourself a nice lead at this point. You can see some of the items here now falling into place, especially, and Onyx Philippines, very interesting. Now you've got that ultimate accessible to you even more for Brusco, and that's going to be great because this is what we've seen all day from him, is that Tsunami Slam.
And Kelra, look at the first item. He actually went for the Sea Halberd, going up against Sigiboom on the Ruby in the gold lane. So they're really looking for ways to answer and deal with Aurora Gaming, even from the very beginning of this game. So now they have to keep the pressure going. They have to limit the ways that Aurora are able to move around the map. And I feel like that responsibility is mostly going to fall on Kirk's shoulders right now. He's the one who has to be the threat, who has to be the disruptor for Aurora Gaming. Look at the damage coming in from Keller as well. Brave enough to stand in front of both Sigiboom and Rosa in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Kelra relying specifically on just how, you know, mechanically gifted as a player as he is, he can go ahead and be confident enough to just rely on a flicker even if he has to against someone like a Ruby who could do the exact same thing, you know, flicker forward, I'm offended, pull you on in. But it's funny because every time we see a Beatrix pop up, it's kind of like, you remember that time when Beatrix was just so dominant, you know, she even had her own figurine back for the World Championship. And it's like, man, you kind of remember just how good it is to have multiple options in terms of, you know, all of the guns she has available to go ahead and for the right situation. But even so, it's just the counter hasn't been able to be caught because of the fact that you just have such good zoning from this lineup here. There's already,
Brusco, he decides to go for Sigiboom, but there's a Winter Crown. Could potentially save him from this pickoff, and he has a lot of sustain to deal with it. But Kelra decides to go for Apex 47 first. There's the Revitalize, which buys him a lot more time. But on the other sides of the map, King Kong was able to work on other members too, but at the expense of his very own life. That doesn't look too good for Onyx PH.
I gotta say though, Sigiboom bought a ton of time. So even without King Kong, Onyx Philippines is gonna just go for this Lord here. I'm not sure if Aurora Gaming is gonna do anything. Rosa might give him the information, but they just make the decision. It's better off that we just give it up. We don't deal with it. The Lord is secured here for Onyx Philippines. So that fight that broke out, you know, it was just really kind of split up even. And yeah, it was King Kong that went down, but nonetheless, again, Kelra well protected here with Brusco. Sigiboom buys some time. You can see King Kong was going for Lunar, but Tienzi was there to go ahead and help him out. So a great play from both sides, but ultimately objective going to the hands of Onyx Philippines will now allow them to march towards the base here. And we'll see if Aurora Gaming has enough to go ahead and defend. That's an I'm offended thrown on out. Not going to find a mark here. The Lord is going up top side, so expect Onyx Philippines to at least get to these base turrets.
Yep, they're trying to sink the waves as well, making the most out of this objective that they were already able to take for themselves. Fettered airstrike already committed, and so will be that split early. Oh, no, it's okay. They don't really mind that. So now they get to expose all the inhibitor turrets for now from Aurora Gaming. That's a lot of damage coming in from King Kong, but at least a successful defense for now.
And they deal with that Lord. The waves are still going to be pushing in. I don't think you can roll. Never mind. Brusco.
Another flicker into the Bandit's Rage, but the Primal Wrath will be able to keep him safe, and it might not be looking too good for Onyx PH. Super Prince and Brusco get punished for that attempt.
As I was about to say, Brigitte, I don't think you can really get more of that. Brusco's like, nope. Hold my drink. I got this. And then 2 go down for Onyx Philippines. So this is actually going to buy some time here and some space now for Aurora Gaming. Off of that, they'll get the tier 1 in mid now, make their way towards this tier 2, and this is a good chance for them to get some space back in their favor here. The wave is going to be cleared out though in the mid lane, so on Philippines against it all will still hold on to the majority of the tournaments. Gotta keep track of that King Kong damage.
Ooh, is King Kong gonna go for it? That's 5 members of Aurora Gaming though.
I thought they were gonna delay them a little bit further, but yeah, nonetheless, they don't lose too much, so they only lose that mid-turret tier 1.
I think Brusco just has to pick his targets really well. He went for Lunar earlier, and although, yes, Lunar does just have the flicker, or maybe doesn't have the flicker earlier, this is an Edith who could Primal Wrath his way to at least stay a little longer in the fights and throw out a bit more damage as well. So it's still going to be a threat if you're not able to burst him down right before he's able to do or use the Primal Wrath. But then even then, during that moment, I feel like he was the most accessible target for Brusco. But if so, maybe, you know, be a little more careful with the timings if you're not so sure of whoever you want to target after all. So now everyone, or both teams, they seem to be looking for an angle to do something right before this objective. Brusco has... He gets caught by Aurora Gaming, the layers, the chain. And he actually does! It's a double kill for him, and he actually gets the...
They might have just saved that from being way more devastating. Kelra somehow makes it through, but Rosa will pick up another kill. A big team fight for Aurora.
It's a 3-4-3 trade so far, but I feel like we have to see that once again. Even not now, maybe later, but the way Kelra was just able to play around and deny that Lord. So it was looking bad for Onyx when they got the jump onto King Kong. But even when Kelra was low, he flickered in right there. He just decided to risk it all. Got the kill onto Tianzi and the kill on the Lord. Unbelievable decision making from Kelra.
Great arrow to start that fight, but also even greater decision from Kelra. A huge risk, but like you mentioned, Brigitte, it gets you the objective, and ultimately that's what they wanted here. And so Tianzi picking up a little defensiveness, gets the win of nature. They got to deal with this Lord on Philippines in full force. We'll go ahead and get ready to march towards this base. They're going to hold it as long as they can.
Oh, they try to take down Kirk, but he is too tanky for this. Already forced out the feathered airstrike though, but it'll be enough to take down that inhibitor turret up top. So they can or potentially will work on the remaining base turrets one by one. Onyx PH have to be careful with this. You see the late game already starting to come in, despite what happened for Aurora Gaming and their lineup.
Okay, they should hold on to this mid turret. I don't think they push any further. There is considerable damage, though, on the bottom base turret, but Aurora Gaming holds on to 2, so they're going to find themselves again in a position to go ahead and face off against Onyx Philippines, even for the next objective here. So despite it all, I feel like they're really confident in the fact that, hey, we can actually go toe-to-toe, we can win some of these fights, even if it means just playing around these arrows from Rosa. Rosa's been so good now, 3 games in a row on the Selena.
It's like he has a target lock on Super Prince. He's making things so hard for Super Prince, honestly. But that's the thing, like, Aurora Gaming, they've been making a lot of decisions which really extend the game and allow us to reach this point. Like, for how many times have we been seeing games which exceed the 15-minute mark? I think this has been, if not the longest we've been seeing so far here in the group stage of MSC, so it's been a very close fight. to be careful in setting up for this next and possibly last objective, depending on how things will go, because it's going to be very crucial. We're approaching the 18-minute mark.
And I know the thing about this whole... whoa! Hey, okay, Apex.
Okay.
I guess he went for it. He's like, hey, that's Kelra.
That could have been a combo, because like there was an Abyssal Arrow, there was an AOG, but yeah, there was a flicker from Kelra. They already lost major resources though, but they're still able to set up for this upcoming Lord fight.
Okay, now Kelra's got to be even more careful with this, and that's why Rosa in that position. This back line, because Kelra's got to deal with that, and not having the flicker, they might be just the plan. Like, let's just delay this as much as possible. As the Lord has evolved now too, post the 18-minute mark, you can see the positioning here from Onyx. But Rosa's on point, has all the information that he needs to go ahead and keep Onyx Philippines in check. So it's quite astonishing how Aurora Gaming has found themselves in this position where they were down quite a bit of thousands of gold minutes ago, 5+ minutes ago or so. And yes, they have one base turret down, but they're actually the ones with considerable control right now around this Lord. And they're going to be the ones to go ahead and start things up.
Maybe that was what Aurora Gaming wanted. Just take away the flicker from Kelra, you know? So we might have a better chance at being able to take him out whenever the fight breaks out and not allow him to save the game once again for Onyx Philippines. But
it's going to be up again soon. 30 seconds. And Onyx, like I said,
they just bought enough time.
Yeah. Just wait longer, right? Or wait faster, like LaFell said. And they did exactly that. So buff secured for King Kong 2. Once again, Kelra will have it about 15 seconds. Aurora Gaming might know this too, and they might want to just force a situation here. So Brusco, Conceal was used. They're going to force the fight anyway. Apex 47 takes some damage, but still, no one wants to commit to this Lord. It is going to be more difficult to take too because it's evolved. So Brusco even picks up an immortality for himself. And we'll have just this face-off for now.
I guess this is what they call the Lord Dance.
The Lord Dance.
It's been such a long dance between both of these teams. Lord currently at half HP.
This is the new dance. This is the 2025 version.
And all the while things were happening, a turret in the bottom lane was taken down by the minions. They've been getting pretty impatient as well with how things have been going. But will this finally be the start of the fight? They try to go for the onward or shadow combo onto Kirk, but it won't land. There's the better airstrike. Oh, TNZ's very low on HP. Fortunately, there's not the runner's apathy from Kelra to finish off the kill just yet, but will they still try to regroup? Oh, they go for Kelra! But King Kong still secures the Lord nonetheless, and I am offended connects on to two members of Onyx Philippines though, and it's Brusco and Super Fritz trying to run away, but Aurora, they're gonna chase after them! They're not letting him go! They pop the immortality, and it's only Super Fritz who's able to return to the base!
Oh no! It's a disaster for the Super Fam! Super Fritz tries, but Aurora Gaming made it happen, and Sigiboom did it too on the Ruby. What a game 3 for Aurora Gaming!
In a split second, that single decision that mattered the most. They're able to switch things up and turn things around. This could potentially be the first successful upset we've seen here in MSC.
It is, and at this point, I think it's safe to say this MSC is kind of scary.
It's scary.
You gotta be a little bit afraid, because here's the thing. Right now, you know what? Power rankings, tier lists, throw them out the window, man. Everyone's here to show up because we have not even seen like a stomp yet. I mean, like, sure, you've seen games like, okay, I think this team is gonna win, but it's never that. Throughout this game, Aurora, they showed a lot. Mechanics, macro, patience, timing, and what I heard was communication, because they're the loudest in that final Lord dance. And I don't speak their language, but I know what they were saying. We're not going for the Lord. We gotta go for those kills, because the entire time,
it was Kelra, right?
They were prepping that bottom lane to push in. They were just buying the time for the minions to do work, and then just reminded each other, we're not going for Lord, we're going for kills.
You know what they did?
What they did?
They mastered the basics.
They mastered the basics. There you go.
What they did.
I can't believe it. Like, they seemed like they were just after Kellera at that point. Okay, it wasn't successful, so we wait a bit more, and we thought it was Onyx buying some time, but no. Before they actually decided to commit to the Lord fight, it was the AOG, it was the flicker from Lunar. They just wanted to get rid of Kellera.
Yeah, and now, like, I gotta say, this is too insane, this is too crazy, too scary. I'm actually gonna be throwing over to Eterna to start the interview.
One of our biggest upsets here at the MSC group stages with a 2-1 victory. Congratulations, Ewc 47 from Aurora, Turkey. How do you feel right now?
Anladım şimdi. İyi hissediyorum. İyi hazırlandık. Güzel bir galibiyet aldık.
I'm feeling really well. We prepared really good and we got a good win here.
Amazing, amazing. Everyone is shocked right now. I'm still shaking from that match.
Ve M6'da da iki farklı takım altında oynarken yine bu başarıları yakalayamadınız belki de. Bu yüzden mi iki takımı birleştirmeye karar verdiniz?
Başarılar geldi. İyi gidiyor.
Yeah, I would say so. That was one of the reasons for the merger. We have been playing for many years together, but we didn't get this kind of success, and that's now we're feeling really good as this team.
So what were the challenges adapting together? Because technically you were from a different team as well, and then, you know, Msc Boom came in too as your brother.
MSC'nin grupsunuz. Özellikle sen vardın, sonra Msc Boom'da kardeşin katıldı. Bu sizin için nasıl zorluklar getirdi?
Ya aslında çok zorluk getirdi diyemem. Zaten bir tanesi kardeşim olduğu için çok yakından tanıyorum. Lunar'ı da uzun süredir tanıdığım için çok zorlandık diyemeyiz. Bizim için hemen çok hızlı bir şekilde adapte olabildik.
I would say it wasn't really difficult for us because I already know Gunnar for a long while, and one of them is my brother, so it was fairly easy for us and we didn't face many challenges.
So on the topic of your brother, you were the one to bring Msc Boom over, right? How has his growth?
Kardeşinden bahsettik. Yani
Msc Boom gelişmesini çok görmedim. Bir anda turnuvaya girdiğinde gördüm. Kardeşim
I didn't see it before, but when he joined our team, then that was when I saw the growth in him, and I was also really surprised, and yeah.
That's really sweet. That's really sweet. What about Master the Basics? So he came on as your coaching staff. What was his?
gerçekten çok basit bir şekilde öğretip çok iyi şeyler öğretti bize. 25 günlük kısa bir sürede Malezya'da çok iyi bir bootcamp süreci geçirdik ve bunu da sahneye yansıtabildik. Harika.
Okay, so he lives up to his name. He really is mastering the basics, and he taught us a lot of basic things in a short amount of time, in 25 days after Malaysia, and yeah, this is where we stand now.
Okay, we're clearly seeing, you know, the impact of it. Amazing stuff. Now to close things out real quickly, Sutsujin earlier on said they're going to be facing Onyx BH, not your team. They said that they were the stronger team compared to Aurora. Now what do you have to say to Sutsujin from RRQ?
RRQ'dan Sutsujin daha önce onunla röportaj yapıldığında Onyx'le karşılaşacağını söylemiş. Onların daha güçlü takım olduğunu söylemiş. Şu anda sen ona ne söylemek istersin?
Sutsujin güzel bir sürprize karşılaştı diyebiliriz. Başarılar diliyorum.
Okay, it's gonna be a big surprise for him, and we wish him good luck.
Okay, that's making me a little nervous there. But once again, thank you so much, Ewc 47. Congratulations. Rest well, because we're going to throw it over back to our casters.
Maybe Malaysia is a good place to boot camp.
Yeah.